Hey, Winnie, I just got home. Where are you?
What? Wait a sec. You're home already? Didn't you have that leaving party with the guys from work today?
Chris from accounting came down with the flu. The party was meant to be for him in the first place, so we didn't see much point in going ahead with it without the star of the show. Looks like we're not gonna get a chance to say our goodbyes now.
Huh? Wasn't today his last day at the company? Oh no, that's a real shame.
No kidding! He was such a swell guy. It's gonna suck not having him around, too. I have his number, though, so we can always arrange something once he's feeling up to it. How about you? You doing overtime?
Yep, you guessed it. I'm still at work right now.
I see. Didn't you say you were just gonna chill on the sofa with a hot chocolate while watching cheesy rom-com DVDs today?
That was the plan, but I remembered something urgent I had to deal with at work, and before I knew it, the boss was asking me to stay overtime. I thought you were going out to drink with your buddies, so I thought I may as well make a little extra money.
Fair enough. How much longer do you think you'll be tonight?
I think I'll probably be done in about an hour from now. Sorry about this, babe. He always gets me at the worst times. I don't mind if you eat without me.
Nah, it's all good. I don't mind waiting an hour. Leave the cooking to me tonight. What should I do? I know. Burgers! It's burgers for supper tonight.
Jackpot. Sounds great, honey. Thank you. I'm so sorry, babe. I know it was supposed to be my turn to cook tonight, but I guess our plans just didn't go, well, to plan.
It's fine. Work stuff can't be helped. You did think it was going out drinking with the guys. It is what it is.
It feels like forever since I ate your burgers. I seriously can't wait. They always were your best dish.
Hey, stop, babe. You're embarrassing me. I thought it made sense, what with us having all that leftover meat in the fridge and all. House salad and french fries, too.
Oh no, actually, can we put the brakes on the burgers tonight? I just remembered I had them for lunch today. I'm so sorry, hun. Would you mind cooking something else? I'd feel kind of weird twice in one day, and all that meat would be heavy on my stomach.
I see. Well, I guess I don't really mind. Okay, I'll make something else. Leave it to me.
Sorry to be such a pain in the butt, honey. Even though you were going out of your way to make them for me. I feel guilty, lol.
Don't sweat it. It's nothing, really. Good luck with work. I hope it goes quickly.
Thank you. I'll finish up here as quickly as I possibly can. I'll message you when I clock out, okay?
Sure thing. Winnie, you there? You got a minute? I want to ask you something.
What is it, honey?
Want to go on a vacation together at the end of the month? Even if it's just one night away somewhere?
Huh? Vacation? Where'd this come from all of a sudden?
Well, the last weekend of the month is going to be a long weekend for Martin Luther King Day. Not only that, but we're getting pretty close to our anniversary now. I figured it'd be a good opportunity to celebrate. Don't you think it'd be nice to celebrate it while away somewhere nice on vacation? Been ages since we had a proper break.
You're right. It is our wedding anniversary next month. But, Glenn, I'm sorry.
How come? Don't you want to go?
Well, the thing is, work assigned me to a business trip that starts that day. I just agreed to it today. If I had any idea you were going to ask me to go on vacation, I would have said no.
Huh? But what about the long weekend? You're gonna be away with work for a public holiday? Do companies do that? I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, normally I do get Sundays and public holidays off. But this time's an exception, and they've asked me to work on it. They're opening up a new branch over in Connecticut and asked if I'd be able to fly over and help them get everything set up. I'm one of the more senior employees, and there wasn't anyone else they could ask.
I see. Damn, that's a shame.
It really is. I'm gutted about this, Glenn. I would have loved to come with you. I'm so sorry.
Don't be silly. It's not your fault, Winnie. I just thought it might be nice to let your hair down again after such a long time. We haven't been on any dates lately.
But we did go out together the other day, right?
Together? Wait, you mean when we went to the supermarket inside the shopping mall together? If that's what counts as a date now, I'm seriously worried about us.
Well, it might not exactly be the most glamorous romantic outing between a guy and a girl there ever was, but we did technically go out together.
Come on, babe, don't call that a date. This is just sad.
Sorry, honey, I'm only kidding.
I'm serious though. We've hardly done anything together for the last 6 months. Used to feel like every other day we were going out on some kind of outing or adventure together.
Really?
Yeah. We both have Sunday as our day off, so it's not like the opportunity isn't there. Just seems like you're always been too busy to do anything lately.
It's true. It's just been one thing after another lately. If it's not a friend's wedding, it's a friend coming over to hang out, or my favorite band deciding to play locally and leaving me no choice but to buy a ticket. Now that you mention it, it's true. We haven't been able to spend our days off together much lately. I've just been so rushed, I never really got the chance to stop and think about it. But don't worry, when this business trip is over, I'll make time for us. I promise, sweetie.
Really?
Yes. I do want to spend time with you, you know, Glenn. You are my dear darling husband, after all.
Huh. Hard to believe sometimes. I'm glad to hear you say it, though. Thanks, babe.
Don't say things like that. You're my sugar dumpling, and you know it. But I'm really sorry about the holiday. I mean, it's such a shame. I think a nice vacation together after all this time would have been just what we both needed. I'll make up for it. I promise. Pinky promise.
Okay, babe. I'll hold you to that. Listen, Winnie. I want you to know that I think a lot of you. You're my everything, my world.
Why so serious all of a sudden? Stop it. You're embarrassing me, lol.
No, it's just... I wanted to let you know how I really feel about you. You see it all the time, don't you? Couples who drift apart because they don't discuss their feelings, even though they love each other? I never want us to be like that. I want us to get along forever and always. And I want us to be able to talk if there's ever something bothering one of us.
Me too, honey. But enough with this weirdness already. I'm gonna overheat with embarrassment. But seriously, I think a lot of you too, Glenn. You're my rock, and I'm so grateful for you always being there to support me.
I'm so glad to hear you feel that way. I hope it's true. I hope I really am supporting you and you're not just saying that. I just lack confidence.
You are supporting me, and that's the truth. What's gone into you, honey? This isn't like you at all. Are you feeling a little vulnerable today or something?
It's not that. I wonder. I've been doing a lot of thinking about us lately, what with that anniversary coming up and all, and I guess I'm just feeling a little emotional. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest, but I've done it now, and I feel a lot better.
I see. I think so much of you, Glenn. You're my world, and I never want you to forget that. I hope that puts your mind at rest, baby.
Thank you. Whoops, my bad. I forgot you were still at work. Sorry if I'm messing up your flow. I hope your boss doesn't get angry with you.
Not at all. I'm on my lunch break right now, so we don't have to worry about him.
I'm gonna have to get back to work myself soon, too.
Got it. I'm really glad we had this heart-to-heart. I think talking about how we're feeling like this brings us closer together. Good luck with the work, sweetie pie.
I agree. You too, babe. I hope everything goes well today.
Glenn, hello. It's Winnie's mother.
Hey, Bertha, how's it going? Is something wrong? It's not like you to message me.
Is something wrong? Are you pulling my leg right now, young man? You know full well why I'm messaging you. Winnie's been admitted to the hospital.
Yes, I know. She got into an accident on the way back from her business trip.
In that case, why haven't you been to see her in the hospital?
What? I drove down as soon as I heard she's been admitted.
That hardly counts as a visit, does it? She's just been in a horrible accident. The least you could do is sit by her bedside and comfort her. You're supposed to be her husband. She's so shocked right now. How could you? The doctor says she'll be scarred for life. What kind of husband doesn't support his wife at times like this? Is this all she means to you? How could you treat her so awfully? Aren't you worried about her?
Nope. I have a lot of things to do right now. To tell you the truth, I'm super busy, and I don't have time to be giving her any attention. At least with her being in a hospital, things are a whole lot quieter around here now. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying the peace and quiet.
How could you be so horrible? Your own wife's suffering on her own in a hospital bed, and this is your attitude? I'm lost for words. You're so cold and heartless. I'll have her divorce you for this, I swear.
Wow, you'd really do that for me? Why didn't you say so sooner? In that case, I'll be done with the divorce papers immediately.
Huh? Excuse me? You want to divorce my Winnie?
Yes, I've been thinking about it for a long time, actually. I had no idea you suggested. This is actually great. Means we can move things on much faster than I anticipated.
If by any chance, is this because my daughter no longer has use of her right leg? Is that why you're tossing her aside like a piece of garbage? Is that why you won't come and sit by her bedside in her hour of need?
Nope, all wrong. It's because Winnie didn't choose me.
She didn't choose you? What? What does that mean? What are you talking about?
You flew over the day after she got taken to the hospital in an ambulance, right?
That's right. I wanted to come immediately, but there was no flights available on the day it happened, so that was the best I could do.
Well, I got there immediately after she arrived at the hospital. She still hadn't woken up by then.
I know that. What's your point?
Do you know the other person who was involved in the accident?
It was her boss from work, wasn't it? They were coming back from the airport by car after getting back from their business trip to Connecticut when the accident happened, as far as I know.
My wife and her boss are having an affair. They got involved in an accident on the way back from their lover's vacation.
What? No, this can't be. She wouldn't. You're joking, right? Why would you say something like that at a time like this?
I'm not joking. She would, and it is. It's the truth. I have proof to back up what I'm saying, too. I've had my suspicions for a while, and I hired a private investigator to look into her a month ago. I already phoned her company and confirmed it with them. I thought it was strange that they sent her on a business trip during a public holiday, so I gave them a call. And lo and behold, it was all a lie. The business trip didn't exist.
No way. My Winnie did that? Are you sure she's having an affair? Is that why you wouldn't visit her in the hospital?
Yes. I had a feeling they might be secretly going on holiday together. I knew something was off ever since she started acting distant, and I'm not the type to just sit on something that's bothering me. I've been trying to figure out what was going on for a while. I've been doing plenty of work on my own. But my worst fears came true when I rushed to the hospital and looked inside her travel bags.
Her travel bags? The ones up on the shelf?
I think it's for the best you don't look inside those bags, Bertha. They're full of pictures of Winnie and her boss frolicking together on vacation. I've already received one hell of a shock myself. There's no sense in you getting upset too.
Oh my God, it's all true, isn't it? My own daughter is cheating on her husband. I feel sick. Glenn, I'm so sorry.
Please, don't apologize to me. It's not your fault, and you're not guilty of anything. You had no idea what was going on, and no way of knowing. It was hard enough for me to prove what she was doing, and I live with her. I think you were well within your rights to get mad at my attitude when you didn't know what was going on, so I don't hold it against you one bit. You're a good mother. One more thing, and I'm really sorry about this. I did my best to see if we couldn't make it work a second time, but it seems hopeless. I think our relationship's beyond saving.
It's okay. You don't have anything to be sorry for. Winnie's the one who betrayed you. Anyone's feelings would disappear after finding out their wife was cheating on them with her boss. It's only natural. Ugh, to think they even went on vacation behind your back. I'm so sorry for my daughter's behavior. There's no excuse for what she's done to you.
You don't have to apologize on her behalf. I'm gonna tell her I'm filing for divorce soon. There will probably be all kinds of inconvenient stuff for you guys to deal with on your end, but it has to be done. I'm counting on your support and understanding throughout the whole thing.
Glenn, I'm so sorry. Can I have one more chance? I'm begging you. Please, will you come to the hospital one more time? I want you to hear out what I have to say. If you still want out after that, I'll respect your decision. Please.
I won't be coming to see you in the hospital, or hearing out anything you have to say ever again. Can you hand the divorce papers over to your mom after you filled them in and signed them? I'm leaving the rest to her after that.
Please, Glenn, just come and see me so we can talk things through one last time. There's no need to do anything brash. I'm in a hospital bed and I can't move. Please, honey. Please, just find it in your heart to come and see me one last time.
I don't want to see you.
Don't say that. I regret what I did. I'm disgusted with the way I behaved. How could I betray the one I love by having a stupid, meaningless affair? I'm such an idiot, and I'm filled with nothing but regret. I'll never forgive myself as long as I live.
It's too little too late. Maybe if you'd realized how important I was to you a little earlier, things could have been different. There was a time when I probably would have still given us another chance.
You've known for a month now, haven't you? I had no idea you saw us together back around the time of Chris from accounting's leaving party. I didn't see you at all.
I knew something fishy was going on way before that, Winnie. Seeing you together that day only confirmed my suspicions. You became super cold and distant. Started coming home late from work every single night. You started going out on your days off because you had urgent business to attend to. A part of me did think that maybe that's just how things were once you'd been married for someone for 3 years. But something just felt off. I had this weird feeling in my gut that I just couldn't shake.
A feeling in your gut?
I just felt like you changed somehow, and I couldn't quite put my finger on why. You notice these things when you've been with someone for years. You know when they're happy, you know when something's bothering them. You know when they're lying to you.
I'm so sorry. I'll never betray you again, I swear. That's why I'm begging you, please, honey. Don't throw away what we've got. Please, will you just reconsider one last time?
If I'm so important to you, why did you cheat on me? If you regret it that much, surely you wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, at first, I felt like I couldn't refuse him because he was my boss. I like my job. I didn't want things to get difficult at work because of him. So I just went along with it. I didn't know what else to do.
Shall we report him to the police then?
What?
If he abused his position to force you into a relationship against your will, we have more than enough grounds to take him to court. That would make you a victim in all this, so you'd have to give a police statement and testify against him.
No, please, we can't do that. I, may have given him the wrong impression at times.
Ugh. I do wish you'd stop lying. You make me sick.
Lying? What do you mean?
Your boss's wife showed me his phone. He's still unconscious after the accident. I saw your entire chat history. Your declarations of love, your promises of lifelong commitment, The vomit-inducing love heart spam. All of it. Me and his wife looked at the entire chat history from the moment the two of you met until the accident.
I'm so sorry.
You said pretty clearly on several occasions that you both fell for each other. Doesn't read to me like he forced you to do anything. In fact, seems like you were on board every step of the way. You said you had a thing for him since the moment you laid eyes on him. I felt so awful for his wife finding out about everything for the first time while he was lying unconscious in a hospital bed. She was a mess. Turned her whole world upside down.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what else I can say, other than that I regret what I did, and I love you more than anything.
If you were that sorry, if you were that filled with regret, if you loved me that much, you wouldn't have done it. And it's as simple as that. Actions speak louder than words, Winnie. You wanted to cheat on me so badly that you were willing to risk divorce to get what you wanted. I wish you would have just divorced me and dated him out of the open from the get-go.
No, you're wrong. It's not true. I know you're just gonna think I'm making excuses because your mind's made up about me, but I wasn't serious about him, I swear. You're the most important person to me. You're my world, my rock, my sugar dumpling. I only have eyes for you, baby, I swear.
If that was true, you wouldn't have cheated on me with your boss. If you really weren't serious about him, that hurts even more. The idea that you turned down on a vacation with me to go with a lover you weren't even serious about instead stings like hell.
That was going to be the last time we did anything. My mind was already made up when you invited me. I was ready to end it with him once and for all. I was just searching for the right opportunity.
But you didn't, did you? It's all just talk. In any case, you can beg and plead as much as you like. But I can't look at you that way anymore. I feel sick just thinking about you because I can't help but imagine what kind of things you and Loverboy were getting up to behind my back this whole time.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please just give me one more chance. I'm begging you. Please, 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 please.
If you're genuinely sorry for what you've done, you'll sign the divorce papers and hand them over to your mom ASAP. It seems like mine and your definitions of important are very different. You don't deserve any more chances. After that, the divorce went through without a hitch. Winnie was adamant she didn't want to divorce me, but her mom and dad ran out of patience with her and gave her the telling off of a lifetime in front of the doctor while she lay crying in her hospital bed. With that, she reluctantly signed the papers. Complications from the accident caused her to permanently lose use of her right leg. As for her boss, he finally came around a couple days ago, but apparently he's permanently crippled from the waist down. Turns out the accident was about as serious as it gets, and they're both lucky to be alive. Needless to say, her boss's wife also filed for a divorce. He didn't want to accept it either, and I hear he's currently stubbornly clinging to her while desperately begging her not to go through with it. Given the situation, it doesn't seem like him and my ex-wife have a future together. Even if they did, what do I care? She's a stranger to me now, and she's free to do what she wants. Due to them both lying to their families about being on a business trip to go on their seedy lovers vacation, word of the affair got out at work after I phoned the company to inquire. Between their reputations being at rock bottom and the injuries they both suffered, doesn't look like they're going to be able to continue working there for long. But I don't have an ounce of sympathy for either of them. If they hadn't had the affair, neither of them would be paralyzed, and they'd both still have jobs. They'll both bear the responsibility of what they did for the rest of their lives. As for me, I've finally been able to come to terms with the fact I got cheated on. And as if to shed the skin of my old life, I'm ready to start again with a positive, forward-facing attitude. I did carry on going to work throughout this whole episode, but needless to say, my head was a mess and I was far from my usual self. To tell you the truth, There are a lot of things from this period that I don't even remember. I guess it's just my mind's way of coping with things. Finding out about the affair took its toll on me. And looking back on it now, it was wrong, but I started questioning myself and even finding reasons why I might be to blame. Even when the private investigators showed me the proof, I was so blown away that I found myself unable to take action until a couple of weeks had passed. Somehow, even in spite of seeing the evidence with my own eyes, part of me wanted to believe it wasn't real and that there had been some kind of mistake. But of course, I could only go on denying reality for so long. And eventually, I faced up to what had happened and did what I needed to do. There's no doubt about it, though. It was the most stressful time of my life. On a positive note, I started talking about what I went through with my friends after the divorce, and I feel like my head's in a much better place these days. I'm lucky to have such a loving family, such a great circle of friends, and such supportive colleagues. I want to be the best version of myself I could possibly be, so that time ever comes, I'm there to support them when they need it. Happiness takes many forms, and I'm working as hard as I can to find my own unique version of it, all while reminding myself to be grateful for what I do have and looking towards the future.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Carol. I know you already finished with work, but could you send over that research report we completed yesterday? But if you've already left the office, don't bother. It can wait till tomorrow.
Hi, Mr. Briggs. I'm still sitting at my desk, so I'll see that file right away. No problem.
Oh yeah? Great. I'd really appreciate it.
Don't worry about it, it's part of my job. You should head home early whenever you can. You've been staying way too late recently. Isn't your wife expecting a child pretty soon? You really should be at her side at a time like this.
Thanks, Carol. I'm so gratified to have such a loyal and caring employee.
Come on, Mr. Briggs, I'm just doing my job. Besides, you've been so good to us. It just makes us work harder for you. You're good at what you do, a hard worker, and on top of that, you're a loving husband. I always tell my friends that you're the best boss a girl could have.
If you're saying that to get a raise, well, it just might work. Thanks for that. I'll treat everyone to lunch after we settle down a bit.
Really? I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I already have a restaurant I want to go to. Oh, yeah, there was something I wanted to ask you about. Recently, I've been seeing this pregnant woman around. She looks really scrawny and weak. I was wondering who she was?
A pregnant woman? Really? Is she like almost ready to give birth or something?
I'm not sure. I really don't know much about pregnancies. Her tummy does look pretty big. I've seen her walking around, more like wobbling. She could barely stand. I can't really describe her, but she seemed really depressed. There was no hope or joy in her eyes. I wonder what happened. The other day when I passed her, I heard her muttering. I think she was saying, "I'm sorry," over and over again.
Seriously? Well, that sounds a bit worrisome. What does she mean, I wonder?
Yeah, right? I couldn't get her out of my mind after that, to be honest. I started to wonder where she goes every night. You know, with that big tummy and all. Is she getting enough nutrition? I leave my house about 9 a.m. every morning, and I would see her walk by my house. I thought maybe she was going to the hospital, but every morning? That seemed kind of strange. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know a lot about it either, but with my wife, she just goes in to check up once every 2 weeks or so if nothing is wrong. Certainly not every day. Actually, she should be resting at home as much as possible. Well, with that said, everyone's got different situations to deal with, so...
Yeah, maybe you're right. I just hope she's okay.
Some folks can't handle it and get depressed for various reasons. It's really nothing you should be concerned about. Now, if she asks for help, well, then you can assist if you can. But you really shouldn't get too far involved.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Mr. Briggs. Oh, and Mr. Briggs, when your child is born, there's no need for you to come to the office for a while. You need a break. You should be by your wife's side.
No work will get done without me.
Come on, Mr. Briggs. I've worked with you for 2 long years. I can take care of it, no problem.
Okay. I'm relying on you, Carol. Don't let me down now.
No problem. And please, don't take work home with you.
All right, then. I'm gonna look over these files and then head home.
Hello, Mr. Briggs? Good morning. I know it's Saturday. Sorry to bother you on your day off.
Hey, Carol. No problem. What's up?
Sorry, it's not about work, but I hope you don't mind.
Of course. No problem. What's up? Are you in trouble or something?
No, nothing like that. It's about the pregnant woman I told you about the other day. She's at my house right now. I was wondering what I should give her to eat. Your wife being pregnant and all, didn't feel right to just prepare anything in my fridge.
Huh. That woman. That pregnant woman you were talking about. The one that seemed kind of depressed?
Yes, I was on my way out and she passed by my house. She could barely make her way down the sidewalk. She looked so tired and weak, I just couldn't look the other way. I don't have much at home. An apple is okay, right? I read somewhere that coffee is a no-no. Caffeine in it, I guess. I was wondering what kind of drink to serve her. Tea, maybe?
I think my wife was drinking some kind of herb tea.
I do have some caffeine-free cinnamon tea. I suppose I shouldn't serve her anything cold. What am I supposed to do? She's still crying, so it's kind of hard to ask her what she wants. I'm really sorry to bother about this.
Hey, Carol, are you okay? I mean, she's a stranger after all. You really don't have to go out of your way.
I'm fine, sorry to worry you. She's relaxed now and starting to explain things to me. The tea will probably help. Thanks for the advice. It seems things are not going well at home. Apparently her husband is abusing her. Although she's going to give birth soon, her husband is making her take care of his bedridden mom. She says she wants to stay home and relax, but her husband chases her out. That's so awful, don't you think so?
Yeah, that's terrible.
She says her husband doesn't give her any money and still makes her travel by bus to her mother-in-law's house. And she has to take care of her all day. I mean, like a nurse or something. That's really hard work. I can't believe her husband. What a monster.
Yeah, sure is. And what else did she say?
She says he locks her in her room when he's in a bad mood. She also said he wouldn't give her food sometimes. No wonder she's so skinny. She needs to eat, for the child's sake. He's always yelling at her for the smallest things. But he never hits her, it seems. She's emotional, totally drained. You can just see it in her eyes. What a monster her husband is. This can't be ignored. I have to do something. Maybe I should call the police and get their advice on what to do? There must be something. I mean, it's criminal, isn't it?
Carol? Maybe you should relax and think clearly about this.
Yeah, right.
Even if you call the police, what good would that do? In the long run, it may even make things worse. And we have to ask her what she wants to do. It's her husband, after all. We're complete strangers. Should we really butt in where we have no business? I'm sure there's some consultation service run by the city that handles these sort of problems. Must be hard for this pregnant woman to get around. Tell you what, I'll take my car and pick her up, and then we can decide whether she wants to go home or check out one of these consultation services. I'll check around. Just leave the rest to me.
But, Mr. Briggs, I couldn't let you do that. You have a pregnant wife at home yourself. Besides, it's a Saturday, your day off. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
That's exactly why it would be best that I take care of things. You're not even sure what she should eat or drink. Leave it to me. And what's more, you don't have a driver's license.
Yeah, you're right about that. Boy, I call you for advice and you end up taking care of it all. I really didn't mean to put you through all this trouble.
Don't worry about it. Although it's a private matter, you're still part of my team. Like I said, no worries.
Mr. Briggs, I really appreciate this. I'll relay this good news to the woman. Funny, I don't even know her name.
I'm gonna verify that. I'm gonna tell my wife about this whole situation. Could you hold on for a second?
Yes, sure, no problem.
You stupid wench! Where the hell are you? Where the hell are you wandering around? You're not at some young woman's house, are you?
Huh?
You can't hide from me, you! Why the hell aren't you over at Mother's house? I told you to take care of her! What if something happens to her? I just called Mom and said that you hadn't showed up yet! Where the hell are you? You do realize that if you disobey me, you and that kid you're carrying, you will learn a lesson or two from me!
I can't believe that you were actually such an awful person. Mr. Briggs, you're despicable.
Huh? Who the hell are you?
This is Carol.
Huh? Carol? What the hell are you doing answering my wife's phone?
The woman was shaking like a leaf after looking at her phone message. I was so shocked to see that it was you, Mr. Briggs. So, this woman sitting in front of me, this is your wife, Mrs. Briggs, right?
Yeah. Well, Carol, listen to me. I can explain everything. There is a reason for all this.
Reason? What kind of reason? I don't care about any reason. What you did to your wife was despicable. There is no good reason to treat her like this.
Please, just give the phone back to my wife. This is none of your business. This conversation is getting us nowhere. Just get off the phone, would you?
I'm sorry, but she is in no condition to talk to you. You may not like it, a complete stranger coming in between you and your wife, but Mrs. Briggs is screaming out for my help. I can't simply shut my eyes to what's going on. No matter what you say, I don't care if you're my boss or not. I'm on the side of Mrs. Briggs. No, Mary. I'm with Mary on this.
I said there was a reason for this. In the past, Mary was cheating on me. She had an affair with another guy. So, a little payback is all. She cheated on me. I have the right to be a little harsh on her. She could take that. Just think how I felt. She wants my forgiveness. She's repenting for what she did. But please don't interrupt this process. It's her penance. This is our problem, between husband and wife. I don't need a complete stranger coming in telling us what to do.
She says she didn't have an affair. She never cheated on you. You made that all up.
Well, she's lying. You would too if you were in her position. I've been your boss for more than 2 years now. Are you gonna doubt me now? Besides, this is the first time you even talked to Mary today, right?
Yeah, that's true, but Mary was shaking as soon as a text came in from you. That's how scared she was of you. I can't ignore that. You're the problem. She's so scared. I cannot allow you to get near her, ever. So, I don't want you coming to my house. And until Mary has calmed down.
Listen up, Carol. Don't you go doing anything stupid, you hear me?
What do you mean by that? What are you so afraid I might do?
I don't know what you're trying to do. Rescue her? Come on! She does not need rescuing. She needs to repent. Don't forget that I'm your boss. I mean, you don't think you got into this company all on your own now, do you? You're not that stupid, are you?
I didn't get into this company because I was smart. I got in because of my humor.
Yeah, figured. Anyway, The limit is until tomorrow. Got it? Just know what you're getting into. You got that? Hey, Carol. You there? I'm going over there and picking Mary up. So be ready to hand her over. If you agree to just let this all pass like nothing ever happened, I will treat you the same as I always have. You know what happens if you refuse.
I still can't believe it. That great boss I thought I had. You're a completely different person. The despicable way you treated your wife, and I thought you were such a great boss. Now I know who you really are. I can understand the animosity Mary feels towards you.
So, what are you saying? That you refuse to go along? To let things pass?
No, I can't sweep it all under the rug like you want. I just want to do the right thing, that's all.
What's a 20-something like you gonna do? You can't do a damn thing. I've got way more life experience than you. You'll regret this. I've been at this company for years. I have good relations with all the executives. I could get you fired with a snap of my fingers. Easy as pie.
Okay, fire me then. I really don't care. Being unemployed might be kind of fun. I'm still in my 20s. I can start over easy. I already got my annual bonus. Maybe I'll just have fun and relax for a couple of months.
You're being totally irresponsible. You're a member of society now, not some high school kid. Just do as you're told and hand Mary over to me right this second!
Wow, really not like you, Mr. Briggs. You are always so calm and collected at work. You sound like you're in a panic.
Why wouldn't I be pissed off? Come into our lives like you did? This is none of your concern. Buzz off, would you?
Is that all you have to say for yourself? I'm sure you don't want any of this coming out, especially to the vice president.
Vice president? What's she got to do with it? What are you talking about?
You don't have to act so dumb, Mr. Briggs. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Mary told me all about it. The vice president introduced you to Mary, right? Mr. Briggs? Mary's best friend was the vice president's daughter. Or something like that. Is that true? I'm surprised nobody knew.
Mary told you about the vice president? You haven't contacted him, have you? I told her over and over not to contact anybody without my permission!
You're really something. Permission? You're kidding me. You just want total control over everything she does. If she doesn't do as she's told, you lock her up. You don't give her any food or water. You put on this big act in public. The wonderful husband. The family man. You're pathetic. She was crying last night as she told me the whole story. She was never happy being with you, not for a minute. How could you treat a woman like that? You have zero respect for women.
Well, she should be overjoyed to be married to an up-and-coming guy like me. I'm gonna get far in this company. Maybe even president someday. You have no idea about me or my life!
Yeah, I have no idea, that's for sure. To be honest, I don't want to know.
I will never forgive you for this. You hear me? If you contact the vice president about this, you'll regret it. I'll make sure of that!
Are you threatening me? Oh my god. I better get some advice from the police. Oh yeah, I know you're sweating bullets just about now, but I already told the vice president the whole story. And as for Mary, she is no longer at my place. She's at the vice president's residence, resting. She's safe there.
Huh? You did what? You already told?
Yeah, why wouldn't I use the ace up my sleeve? I'm not super smart, but I got my work done very quickly. You always praised me for that, Mr. Briggs, don't you remember?
Are you out of your mind? You just ruined my life! My career! Why'd you go and blab to the vice president? All you had to do was drop it. Things would have gone on as usual.
What the hell are you talking about? You treated Mary like crap. You ruined her life. What, are you the victim here? My God, you're loathsome. Just because I'm in my 20s, don't treat me like a child. I may not have years of experience like you, but maybe my weakness is my strength. After that conversation, Mr. Briggs was called to the vice president's office. There, he was forced to agree to a divorce and to pay compensation for the years of cruelty that he bestowed on poor Mary. I'm not sure where the story got out, but when I got to the office in the morning, all everyone was talking about was this incident with Mr. Briggs and his wife. I'm not sure of the details, but I heard he was forced to resign from the company. The compensation to his wife and child amounted to quite a sum, and he apparently sold his house to pay it off. Last I heard, he was living with his mother, taking care of her. Mary said that her mother-in-law was senile, and taking care of her was quite a chore. But I'm sure Mr. Briggs will have no trouble looking after her. After all, Mary, who was pregnant at the time, did it every day. The other day, when I was strolling through a nearby park, I spotted this thin and haggard old man sitting on a park bench. I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Briggs. When he was working at the office, he was this handsome, middle-aged man, but now he looked pretty run down and hollow-cheeked. Nothing like the energetic boss I once knew. Maybe taking care of his mother and unable to find a decent job finally took its toll. As for Mary, she gave birth to a beautiful, healthy boy and is currently bringing her son up at her parents' place as a single mom. Once she was able to place him in nursery school, our vice president introduced her to a job at a client company. Just watching Mary and her son enjoying life makes me so happy. Sure, it was certainly a shock to learn the truth about my boss, who I respected. I'm glad she reached out to me that time. If she hadn't, she might still be stuck in that dire predicament to this day. I'm pretty sure nobody will reach out to rescue Mr. Briggs from his current predicament.
Hey, are you sleeping again, you lazy sloth of a woman? You still didn't clean up the mess from breakfast!
I'm so sorry. I was just about to get started on it, I swear. I've been feeling so under the weather I haven't been able to move for a little while.
Just get it done. Are you telling me that you've been lounging around on your ass doing nothing this whole time? Me and Kelsey had breakfast at 7:30 a.m. That's all 3 hours ago. Patricia, 3 hours!
I'm being serious, Michael. I'm in a lot of pain here. I'm on my period and I feel awful. To be honest, I've been finding it difficult to move since I got up this morning.
You think being on your period gives you license to sit around and do nothing all day? Tell me, how exactly do you think you'd be able to get by if you weren't a stay-at-home housewife? Women go to work on their periods all the time. Wake up and smell the coffee, you lazy slob. You're lucky you don't have to go to work. All I ask is that you keep the house tidy and make me happy. But no, you can't even do that! You're useless! If there was anyone as lazy as you at my company, they'd get fired before they knew what hit them!
Michael, please. Periods affect every woman differently. There may be people who don't get any symptoms and can carry on working as normally, but I'm not so lucky. I get stomach cramps, I throw up randomly. It's hard to move.
You're the first person in my life who says that they can't move because they're on their period. You know what? It'd be comical if it wasn't turning the house into such a mess. You speak as if it's common knowledge, but I've never seen it, and I've never heard of it. You're the only one who acts like this. Half of the employees at my company are women. You'd think I'd have heard of it by now if there was any truth into what you're saying. No matter how you look at it, what you're saying is suspicious, and it doesn't add up.
Obviously, you haven't heard of it. That's not surprising at all. You think women like talking about this kind of thing? The girls at your company are hardly gonna go around the office giving detailed updates on their nether regions to their male coworkers.
Ugh. God damn it, woman. Whatever. I'm done listening to your pathetic excuses. The thing that annoys me the most about your attitude is that now Kelsey is suffering as a result of these alleged period pains of yours. Do you know how hard she's working with her studies at school? I've never seen a kid as diligent as her. She even turns down invites to hang out with other kids to do homework. The least she should be able to expect in return is a warm meal and a tidy house to come home to. But no! You can't even give her that! Your own daughter! You dare call yourself a housewife? Aren't you embarrassed? Why don't you try thinking about your daughter instead of yourself for a change? You sorry excuse for a woman?
Michael, please. It's not like I don't want to cook or do the housework. It's just, there are times where my medicine doesn't work. And no matter how much will there is, I feel so awful I literally cannot get out of bed. I'm not doing this because I want to. I promise you I'm not.
Wait a sec. This can't be real. You're not actually getting mad at me, are you? You've got some nerve. How dare you speak to me like that? I am the breadwinner in this household. And what are you? A lowly, stay-at-home housewife? And a failed one at that! Your job, no. Your reason for existing on this earth is to provide for me and Kelsey, and to see that we're happy at all times. What value do you have if you can't even do that?
Michael, please, will you just listen to me? Can't you just try to understand my period pains? Won't you please try to understand that I'm not doing this because I want to? You've been so horrible lately. What happened to you?
What happened to you? Shut up, you shrieking banshee! You need to stay quiet and obey my orders at all times. You need to stop causing problems for our daughter. Do I make myself clear?
Why can't you understand?
Listen to you. You're like a child. And there I was, thinking I married a grown woman. Everyone feels a little under the weather from time to time. That's no excuse to slob around in bed and on the sofa, day in and day out. How long have you been a woman at this point? You'd think you'd have the basics down by now. Stop blowing things out of proportion like some whining baby and fulfill your duties. Suck it up and do your job like the rest of the human race. Do not answer me back this time. This conversation is over. Go and check the documents I left in my study. They're on the left side of my desk. Get it done now. Hey, Slothy! Slothy, Slothy, Slothy! Are you there? Answer me! Good grief. You're not lazing around in bed because of those pathetic period pains, are you?
I'm at the hospital. I was rushed here in an ambulance.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
I collapsed with excruciating period pains and couldn't move or get back up.
Are you a moron? What the heck is wrong with you, woman? Since when did that kind of thing happen with period pains? You're talking crap, and you know it! You called an ambulance? Over that? We're not insured, you idiot! Will you be paying for this? Of course you won't! Do you have any idea how much this is gonna cost me? Not only that, but there are people who need ambulances far more than you do. There's probably someone out there suffering unnecessarily right now because of you! Stop wasting other people's valuable time and money over your proxy period pains!
I didn't call the ambulance. Someone saw me and rushed over. I was at the laundromat when it happened, doing guess what? Washing the suit of someone with absolutely no understanding of period pains whatsoever.
You've got some cheek, woman! Do not disrespect me like that ever again. Feeling all bold because you got carried away in an ambulance, are we? Don't think that there won't be consequences to this. It's plain as day you're lying about the period pains. You probably just want the attention, don't you? You're sick. If there is genuinely something wrong with you, just grit your teeth and push through it, like a normal human being.
Yeah, 'cause that's totally possible. I can just get rid of these crippling pains through sheer force of will, right? Why didn't I see it before? Why don't I just pull a rabbit out of a hat while I'm at it? It would have helped if I had my medication, but I couldn't find it anywhere. In spite of that, I felt so awful about letting Kelsey down lately that I pushed myself beyond my limits. And then, well, here I am.
Oh, your meds? I threw them in the trash where they belong.
You did what?
I threw away all your stupid medicine. Do your job without it. Think about it. You end up not being able to move even when you take them. So what good are they? If they don't do anything, why do you bother wasting money on them or putting them into your body?
You're a disgrace. You actually did that? Fine. I'm throwing you in the trash too then, Dad.
Huh? Who is this?
Kelsey.
Huh? But Kelsey's at school right now. What the heck are you talking about? If you're Kelsey, then what was the discussion we just had? Makes sense, woman. I get it. You're trying to confuse me. You're trying to mess with my head, aren't you? Just what the hell is your endgame here? Do you have any idea who you're messing with here? What I'm capable of? This is not a fight you want to start, I assure you.
I only had school in the morning today. I got a call from the hospital telling me Mom had been rushed away in an ambulance. I went over as soon as I could. I'm chilling with Mom in the hospital ward right now.
Huh? What? Is that really you, Kelsey? No, wait. It can't be. This is your mother's number. I mean, your number, Patricia. You think you can outwit me? I invented the concept of outwitting. I am he who outwits!
Wow, Dad, are you really like this? I'm speechless. I saw Mom's phone flashing when one of the nurses was passing me her belongings. When I saw your name, I thought I'd better reply to let you know what was going on, so I opened the message. When I did, I saw all the horrible stuff you were saying. Is this how you always treat Mom? I can't believe you speak to her like this. Don't you love her? How could you?
Why am I the bad guy here all of a sudden? Surely you saw your mother's disgraceful attitude too. Not cooking for us, and then blaming it on her period pains. Staying in bed for days at a time. I don't even have to tell you. How much housework have you had to do lately, Kelsey? Do you think it's acceptable? There's only one person to blame here, and it's not me. She's been causing you more trouble than anyone.
What? She's not causing me any trouble at all. So I have to do the housework 1 or 2 times a month. So what? I honestly couldn't care less. Besides, Mom's always cooking delicious meals for us, cleaning up after us, making sure our clothes are clean and fresh, bringing us drinks, baking us cookies. She's a star. Surely it's basic decency to let her rest on the rare occasion she's not feeling her usual self due to period pains?
Basic decency? Sheesh. Give me a break. You're putting me in a difficult position as your father here. you're gonna get hit by a ton of bricks when you go out into the real world and realize it's not as kind and forgiving as those naive ideas you got in your head.
No! The only one in a difficult position here is Mom! How exactly are you the victim here? Her period pains are almost unbearable even when she takes her medicine. But you were actually spiteful enough to throw that away too. As if she wasn't stressed enough already. You do nothing but insult and abuse her. You two are supposed to be a team, but all you do is attack her. You're just a sad little bully. Is it any wonder she collapsed? It's your fault this happened. It's your fault Mom is in the hospital. I don't need a dad who makes my mom suffer like this, so you can just get lost. What's the point in having a dad who isn't there for his family when they need him more than ever? We're done.
Hey, Kelsey. How are you? I hope you're doing just swell, honey. Do you think you might be ready to speak to your pops yet, sweetie pie? Do you think maybe we could have a little chat? Oh, by the way, the breakfast you made me today was so delicious. You're super talented. You have no idea how pleased I was. It made my day.
What do you want?
Huh?
How about instead of bombarding me with your cringy drivel, you apologize to Mom?
Me? But why? What did I do? Your mom collapsed because of period pains.
In that case, I have nothing to say to you.
No, wait! Please, just wait a sec. There's something I need to ask you.
What?
Are you two going on vacation or something?
Oh, that. Because we're packing up our things.
Yeah. What's that all about? Don't you think it's a bit cruel to exclude your old pops like this?
We're not going on vacation. We're moving in with Grandma and Grandpa.
Your mom's parents' place?
Yep. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. So there's no point in us living with you.
Wait. Just slow down a sec. Don't you think you're overreacting a little? Talk about making a mountain out of a molehill!
Overreacting? Which part are we overreacting to? You viciously bullying Mom as she suffered with the most excruciating period pains of her life? Even going as far as throwing away her medicine?
Oh, please. Kelsey, a period isn't an illness now, is it? It's a normal part of being a woman. They taught you that in school, all right? Every other woman on Earth seems to be able to endure it. What makes your mom so special? It's not her being in pain that's the problem, but her lazy, entitled attitude.
Mom isn't lazy or entitled at all. And sure, maybe periods aren't classified as an illness, but there are cases where they become things like dysmenorrhea and premenstrual syndrome, which very much are illnesses. Sure, there might be some women who are barely affected by their periods, but on the other hand, in severe cases, there are some who suffer excruciating cramps and pains, throw up, and find it difficult to move.
Wow. You know a lot about this. That's my girl.
I don't need your praise. Besides, I shouldn't have to explain something like this to you in the first place. You and this conversation are both grossing me out. You're pathetic. Go do your own research.
Okay. I will. I'll investigate this all for myself.
Really? You better had do. I want you to really understand how much pain Mom is in.
If I do you promise not to leave me?
I guess that all depends on you, Dad. One thing's for sure, though. There's no way I'm having anything to do with you if you carry on abusing Mom like you have been doing all this time. Besides...
Kelsey, sorry, but this is urgent.
Huh? What is? My class is starting soon.
It's my stomach. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. What is this? I gotta go use the toilet.
Ah, I see the symptoms finally started.
Huh?
You know the milk I used for your breakfast this morning? It was like 5 days past the expiry date.
What? Why'd you do that?
I wanted you to know what it's like to have period pains. Obviously, an exact reaction was always going to be impossible. So I went with what I thought would be the quickest way to give you unbearable stomach cramps. Symptoms differ from person to person, but it's not uncommon for people's guts to turn into a painful, explosive mess.
Oh my. Kelsey, do you really hate me that much?
Yes, I do. I hate you because you're horrible to Mom. What happened to you? You never used to be like this. Oh, yeah, I found some book in your study. I think it was called How to Get Your Daughter to Like You. What was that all about? The part that said, the supreme commanding authority of the father should be tactfully understood by members of the household at all times, was highlighted. Is this, by any chance, the reason you started being such a jerk to Mom lately? Are you trying to play the part of the domineering husband?
Where did you hear that term?
Well, are you going to answer me?
Well, the thing is, well, okay. Maybe I was.
There's no maybe about it. That's what you were doing, wasn't it?
Ugh! Just stop this already! I gotta go to the toilet immediately! This can't wait! Let's talk about this when you get home, okay?
Oh, Dad? Wait, there's just one more thing.
What?
Am I right in thinking you always keep a little supply of medicine in the side pocket of your bag in case of emergencies?
Yeah. Why? It's common sense to have a stash set aside. You never know when you're gonna need it after all. In fact, I had it set aside just for times like this. Thanks for reminding me, honey. I should be over in a jiffy. Let your old man show you how it's done.
About that, you see, the thing is, I took it all out of your bag. I'm afraid you won't be taking any medicine today.
What? You did what? What'd you do with it? Where's my medicine?
I threw it in the trash. You can endure this without medicine, just like you made Mom.
Kelsey, this is going too far. How could you be so horrible? Oh my God!
You're right. It is horrible, isn't it? Just like what you did to Mom. But this is only the beginning. Things are about to get a whole lot more horrible for you. Go on, Pops. Show us how it's done. Oh, geez, what a dramatic little episode that was. The day after I got rushed to the hospital, my husband, who'd come home from work, got on his hands and knees at my feet and begged for forgiveness. To tell the truth, I didn't understand what was going on at first, and I was a little more than surprised. But Kelsey later told me about everything she'd said to her dad, and as well as being indescribably proud of her, I felt a huge sense of relief. For all his faults, my husband genuinely does love his daughter more than anything in the world. I think receiving a stern telling off and an education in how to be a decent human being from her gave him the wake-up call he sorely needed. Even still, I wanted to check who he was actually apologizing to. I thought that if he said he was only doing it for Kelsey, I'd seriously have to think about whether me and him had a future together. But to my surprise, without even hesitating, he said calmly and clearly, "To my family." What's more, it looks like he actually did a lot of research into period pains. Due to his newfound understanding, he started happily helping out around the house and being super kind and compassionate towards me when I wasn't at my best. I'll never forgive him for all the awful things he said to me, but I decided to give him one more chance when he made a solemn promise to change his ways. swearing never to treat me like that again. I know the concept of periods might be difficult for most guys to understand, and it's not like I want everyone on their period to be treated like damsels in distress, but at the very least, I did want my husband to understand what I was going through. Of course, I go out of my way to cause as little nuisance as possible to those around me, no matter how I feel. But I can't pretend I wasn't a little amused to hear about the trick Kelsey played on him. Without his medicine stash, all he had to rely on was some traditional Chinese medicine his kooky aunt got him for Christmas one time, which, needless to say, didn't do much to stop the flow. It's unfortunate he had to go through such an ordeal to understand my situation, but I'm at least glad he does now. After being mercilessly scolded by his daughter, he finally gave up on trying to play the domineering husband, unable to cope with the disapproval. I'll never forget what he did to me, but he's currently in the process of desperately trying to regain my trust. He's never been this nice to me, and while it feels a little strange, I'm certainly not complaining.
Deep text.
Sup, Alfie? It's been ages. How have you been? No way! Is that Charles? Where have you been hiding? It's been, what, 10 years? I'm doing great. Thanks, my dude. Yeah, I think it's been about that long. Time flies, huh? I've had so much on my plate, with switching jobs and all. These past 10 years just vanished. Where does it all go? I know, right? I think we both share some of the responsibility for us drifting apart. We've both been pretty lazy with messages, LOL. So, how's it going? And what's with the random message out of the blue after all this time? Everything okay? Did something happen? About that, I recently was given a long vacation from work, so I thought it might be nice for us to catch up. I messaged because I was wondering if you might want to meet for a beer sometime. I like the sound of that. Beer's always good. Let's do it. Come to think of it, where do you even live these days? You left town, right? At least, that's what I heard. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I live in Canada now. Canada? Whoa! Aren't you cold? Can't eat maple syrup on pancakes for breakfast, though. You're making me hungry. No doubt about it. I make some nice food up here. Rustle up some mean burgers, too. There's this place near my house you've just got to try out if you ever come up here. Thing is, though, I got sent up here for work. So I get pretty lonely sometimes living away from my wife and son. It can be tough, actually. Oh, really? Hey, wait a sec. Since when did you have a kid? I never heard about that. Oh, did I forget to tell you? Is that your new catchphrase? Man, we're the worst. We gotta make more of an effort from now on. My wife and son are still living in our hometown down in Utah. And here I am, all on my own, up here in the frosty wilderness. I see. Man, this has been a serious blast from the past. This is too much excitement for one day. Sorry about that. I guess we have a lot to catch up on after not speaking for 10 years. No kidding. 10 years, dude. 10 whole freaking years. How about you? How are things on your end? I'm single and unemployed. I see. Sorry to hear that. Oh my god! Did you believe me? Stop it! I was pulling your leg, dude! I have a GF and a job! Whoops, my bad. I see. Glad to hear it. I see you haven't changed a bit. 10 years or not, I'm still the same old me. Anyway, when does your vacation start? Yeah, I see that. My vacation starts on the 1st of next month. I'll message you when I've dotted the I's and crossed the T's on my schedule. Sounds good. Make it sooner rather than later, dude. We've got catching up to do. So you're a family man now, huh? I bet your wife and kid will be over the moon to have you home again. Yeah, I guess they will. I've been so busy lately, I haven't had time to go back and see them at all. Damn, that sucks. This vacation sounds like just what you need. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. By the way, how old's your son? He's 8 now. Damn, he's 8 already? You had him a couple years after we drifted apart then? He must be big. I had no idea at all. I mean, I thought maybe you would have found a nice girl and settled down by now, but I'm really pleased to hear it's for real. So, your wife and son are still down here in Utah? That sounds surprisingly awkward. Them being down here, and you being up in Canada for work. They're not kidding when they say they grow up fast, you know? We were doing video calls every night a while back, but recently, I've been so busy that I haven't had a chance. They're asleep by the time I get done with work. And I'd hate to have them stay up on my behalf. You have no idea how badly I want to see the little rascal. Be careful, Alfie. You might not even recognize him soon if you keep this up. LOL, cut it out! I know it might sound weird coming from me, but I love the hell out of that kid. He can be a handful at times, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. Man, you used to be so cool. I can't believe what a sentimental dork you've become. Kids really are amazing, huh? My kid's in a league of his own. My wife gets mad at me every time I go home because I just can't help but buy him mountains of clothes and toys. He gets spoiled rotten. I guess they have a way of getting you to do that. They sure do. Uh-huh. Yep. Kids are really cute. It's weird. I've started getting this warm, fuzzy feeling lately. I want to just protect them, even though I don't have any of my own yet. And you call me sentimental? Where did that come from? Well, this conversation about your son reminded me of something that's been going on lately. There's this park in the neighborhood. Your neighborhood? Yeah. There's a little kid who seems to be there every day, wearing the exact same clothes. That's weird. Who is he? A ghost? I'm guessing he's not a ghost. I don't know. It's kind of been playing on my mind, I guess. He's there literally every day, wearing the exact same clothes. It's hard not to notice because he's always alone. He just sits on the swings, barely moving, looking all sorry for himself. As a dad, what do you think? Well, you know what boys at that age are like. He probably just goes to the park every day because he likes playing there. Don't you remember what we used to be like? We were the same. If we weren't out at the park playing tricks on each other, we'd be playing soccer or tag or something. My mom always forced me to wear the same clothes because she knew any fresh ones would get filthy within 5 minutes anyway. I must have looked like a real little street urchin. Yeah, fair point. Aren't you overthinking this a little? Surely, if there was actually something wrong with him, he wouldn't be out playing at the park. Yeah, okay. You make a strong case. Come to think of it, we were just like that. Sorry if I weirded you out, dude. It's just been playing on my mind a little is all. I guess it's no wonder. You've always been really kind. I'm relieved to see you haven't changed. I'm really glad we got in touch again, Alfie. I'll contact you as soon as I know when I'm gonna be free. I hope you still know how to drink, 'cause I certainly didn't forget. I'm counting on you to take us to the wildest bar in town. I can't wait, Broseph. Take it easy. Catch you later. Charles, are you awake? Sorry to bombard you with calls late at night like this if you're in bed. Please, wake up. This is an emergency. What the hell? It's the middle of the night, bro. What's going on? Emergency? What do you mean? There's something I need to ask you. Is your son's name Jake? Huh? My son's name? Yeah, it's Jake. Why are you asking me that at 1:45 a.m.? Have you lost your mind? God damn! I knew it! Can you make it down here tomorrow? What are you talking about? I need you to come back on the earliest flight tomorrow. I'm not joking here. It's your son. He's in trouble. Huh? My son? Jake's in trouble? How? Why? What the hell's going on here? What, is this some kind of prank? Are you half asleep? Drunk? You know the last time we spoke, I mentioned that kid who I kept seeing on his own in the neighborhood park? Do you remember? Oh, yeah. The suspected ghost? The one who always wore the same clothes every day? Yeah, him! That kid! Listen, I went to the park just now, and he was there! Just like always. He was on his own at the park. Why did you go to the park at this time? Are you feeling okay? Why did you go there? Well, my girlfriend broke up with me today, and I couldn't sleep and needed to clear my head. Anyway, forget about that. That's not why I messaged you. Back to the point. So he was there, the kid. The same kid, totally on his own, in the same clothes, just like always. I knew something had to be wrong for him to be there so late at night. So, I asked him what was up. What'd he say? He was surprisingly forthcoming, and we had a little chat. He told me there was this weird guy who kept coming to his house to see his mom. And his mom told him whenever that guy was there, he wasn't allowed to be at home. So she basically kicked him out. And the only place he could think to go was the park. Now, for the crazy part. Are you ready? I asked him where his dad was, and he told me he flew up to Canada for work and hasn't been home in ages. Huh? He's 8 years old, and his name is Jake. Jake Dawson. He even has your surname. There's no way this could be a coincidence. What? How many 8-year-old Jake Dawsons with dads away for work in Canada can there be? He's your son. He has to be. No way. There has to be some kind of mistake. Naomi kicked Jake out of the house? In the middle of the night? Why? Did he tell you why? He just said it was because of that guy. Apparently, he's not allowed in or near the house whenever he's over, under any circumstance, day or night. Listen, Charles, this isn't easy to tell you. And I really don't want to say this. But thinking about it logically, there's only one thing this could possibly be, right? Wait a sec! No way! Naomi's not like that! How could she? She wouldn't! She isn't! Does Jake have a mark on the back of his neck? A crescent moon-shaped birthmark? Yes. Here's a picture of the kid I spoke to at the park. Jake! Jake, that's my son! Jake! Are you being serious? You found him on his own at the local park in the middle of the night? I knew it. It's okay. Don't worry. I felt bad for him on his own like that, so I brought him back to my place. He was shivering like a crack addict, so I ran a bath and cooked him some warm spaghetti. He watched cartoons on the sofa for a little while. Now he's fast asleep. Thank you, Alfie. I really can't thank you enough for this. I owe you more than just a beer. Don't mention it. It might have been a complete coincidence, but I'm glad it was me who found him, and not some ill-intentioned creep. No kidding. Man, it doesn't even bear thinking about. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how relieved I am he's okay. I couldn't help but notice he was a little skinny, though. Was he like that when you last saw him? Do you know if he's been eating right? Really? I can't tell from the photo. I can't help but wonder if she's not feeding him properly. I mean, if she'd boot him out at 1 a.m., it's not hard to believe, right? You should have seen how quickly he devoured the spaghetti. It was like watching a bear come out of hibernation. I don't think I've ever seen a kid eat that much in one sitting. I would have been impressed if I wasn't so concerned. Oh man, I'm really sorry about that. I hope you still have enough left for yourself, my dude. I'll cover whatever he ate and then some on top of that by way of thanks. Seriously, Charles? Don't be silly. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, I won't stop you from buying me a beer, but you don't have to go crazy. I'm kind of kicking myself here, though. I first noticed him at the park way before I told you about him the other day. Damn it! I wish I spoke to him earlier. Who knows how long he was sitting on his own out there. It was super cold tonight. He was shivering so badly. The thought of him being out there all the time is just... Ugh! Thank you. I'm lucky to have a friend like you, Alfie. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I have no clue how to thank you for this. I could buy you 1,000,000 beers, and it still wouldn't even come close. I'll do anything. I mean it. I'm about to book a flight for tomorrow morning. I'll be home as soon as I can. 1,000,000 beers? Okay, that can work. Just kidding. I mean it, Charles. You don't have to thank me. I'm just glad I spoke to him in the end, even if it was later than I'd have liked. All right. Come to my place as soon as you get back tomorrow, okay? Jake's still asleep on the couch at the moment. I'll see to it that he has adequate pizza and cartoons until you get here if he wakes up. Words can't describe how grateful I am, bro. It's nothing, really. More importantly, have you spoken to your wife yet? Yeah, about that. Something seems off. I tried calling her as soon as I saw the picture, but she's not answering at all. I know it's the middle of the night, but she's supposed to have my number as an emergency exception. I see. I wonder if she's just sleeping through the calls. It is the middle of the night. Hard to believe if she's normally reachable, though. I'm gonna keep trying to get through to her. I can't believe it either. I never would have thought she'd do something like this in 1,000,000 years. It's bad enough that she's been having some guy around, but who could do such a thing to her own son? On his own in the park, day in, day out, and even in the middle of the night, for crying out loud. Man, it breaks my heart. It really does. I'll never forgive her. Jake's safe and sound with me, so try and keep a clear head, okay? I'm here for you, bro. Whatever's going on, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. If you need me to help you with anything, just say the word, and it's done. In any case, you're probably gonna be speaking to Naomi before long. So for the time being, just try to relax until you know exactly what's going on. Hope you have a safe flight. I'm so sorry to trouble you with all of this. Thank you again. I know I sound like a broken record here, but I don't know what else to say. Thank you. I'll be with you and Jake ASAP. I know you can see my messages. Reply already! What the heck is going on?
Good morning to you, too. I slept like a log. I didn't notice you've been calling me at all. I'm sorry I missed you, but isn't 59 missed calls a bit dramatic? I mean, really.
You slept like a log, huh? That's a good one. Now give me a straight answer. What were you doing yesterday?
Huh? Why are you talking to me like this? Are you angry about something? What do you mean, what was I doing yesterday? I just went about my usual routine. What's this all about? It's not like you to spam call or message me this early.
Business as usual, huh? I see. Where's Jake right now?
What? Why, he's in his room, of course. What's going on with you, Charles? You're freaking me out.
You see, the thing is, I've been missing him a lot lately. And I thought it'd be nice if I could talk to him again after all this time. If he's in his room, you wouldn't mind giving him a knock and passing him the phone, would you?
Actually, that might be a little difficult. I'm not sure I can do that right now.
Oh, is that so? Is there a reason for that?
Ah, silly me. I forgot. It's his day off school today, so he went out to play first thing this morning. You know how stubborn he can be. Even if I told him to stay for breakfast, he wouldn't listen. He just loves the neighborhood park. I can hardly keep him away from the place lately.
Did he really go out to play?
Yes, of course. Why would you ask me that? I'm terribly sorry, honey, but I'm really busy this morning, so I'm going to put my phone down now. Toodles!
I see. Going back to bed, I take it? Still got some energy left in the tank, huh? Is Loverboy about to go in for second helpings while you abandon our son?
Huh?
What exactly has left you so busy this morning that you have to kick your son out and tell shameless, barefaced lies to your husband?
Charles, what are you trying to say? Loverboy? Kicking Jake out? I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on with you? Is it the stress of work? Being on your own? You're scaring me.
You needn't bother with the theatrics. One of my childhood friends lives in the neighborhood. I got a sudden phone call from him in the middle of the night, pleading with me to get on the first plane back to Utah. He told me he had a kid that very much resembled my son, eating spaghetti on his sofa, who he found on his own, in the park, in the middle of the night.
What are you talking about? Surely it was someone else. There are such things as coincidences, you know.
I thought exactly the same thing. After all, why on earth would our son be out in the neighborhood park all on his own in the middle of the night? But then he sent me a picture, and it was indeed, beyond any shadow of a doubt, our son Jake.
There has to be some kind of mistake. It must have been a lookalike. I really don't know what you're getting at here.
You still won't admit it? My God, you're despicable. You'd better prepare yourself for what's coming, Naomi. Loverboy, too.
Huh? Loverboy? You really need to tell me what you're talking about.
I'm back in town, Naomi. I came back on the first flight this morning.
What? You came back? No way.
I just arrived at my friend's house and met the kid he found at the park. It's Jake. There's no doubt about it. Why did my friend have to take him in the middle of the night? Because he had nowhere to go if he just went out to play in the morning.
Yes. This is all a big misunderstanding. I remember now. Jake told me he wanted to go out to play all of a sudden at midnight last night.
And then what? You actually let him? Weren't you concerned when he didn't come back? Give me a break, woman. This crap isn't gonna wash with me. Are you insane? Even if your pathetic excuse was true, you'd still be despicable.
It's the truth.
I see. Maybe you could shed some light on the strange man who comes over regularly to the house. What's the truth on that one? Huh? You regularly invite him over, right? Kicking Jake out on the streets every time, of course. What did you plan on doing if something happened to him?
No, it's not true. He's just my cousin. My cousin, I tell you.
Your cousin, huh? It's interesting. I could have sworn both of your parents were only children. Which means you have no cousins. And that doesn't explain why you keep kicking our son out. There's a whole lot that's not adding up here, Naomi. How about you just come clean?
Oh, I don't? Well, he's an acquaintance of one of my relatives. Surely that counts as a cousin.
Nah, it really doesn't. How long do you plan on making excuses?
I'm doing no such thing. Just stop this.
I see. So, if I were to, say, come home right now, I wouldn't find, say, the two of you together in bed, would I? That's just crazy talk, right?
What the hell kind of a leading question is that? You're not tricking me into anything. You're calling my bluff anyway. I bet you didn't even come home, did you? This is probably all just some big scheme to, well, I don't know, but it is.
Did I really come home? Who knows? I just managed to grab hold of some guy who came hightailing it out of our house like he had had the life frightened out of him. You wouldn't happen to know about anything about him, would you? Actually, forget it. You're only capable of lies. So I'll just get the rest from him.
Huh? No, wait. No. You've got this all wrong. Let him go, please. He has nothing to do with any of this. He's innocent. Just wait.
Why would I do a single thing you asked me to? You starve our son. You kick him out in the middle of the night to shiver his goddamn balls off alone and terrified at the park. There's a special place in hell for you two. You heartless wastes of space.
No, I told you, you've got this all wrong.
What part am I getting wrong? The chump I wrestled into submission on the front lawn started running his mouth at 100 miles an hour. He's showing me the pictures as soon as I mentioned suing him for damages. Seems pretty desperate to reduce the amount he's gonna owe me. To be honest, I didn't think it'd be this easy to get a hold of proof.
Wait, please, will you just hear me out? I'm begging you. This is all just a big misunderstanding. I only did it because I was lonely. I missed you so much. I thought maybe if I could do something to grab your attention, you'd come back and I could have you all to myself again.
Huh? So, you kicked Jake out in the middle of the night and had an affair with your cousin because you were lonely? This is no way for a mother to act.
No, it wasn't like that. Please, just hear me out, baby.
Be quiet. I'm sick of hearing your excuses. I don't want to hear anything else you've got to say. I could never believe another word that comes out of your mouth. You're so repulsive. You barely deserve to be called a human. Charles, safely reunited with his son Jake after flying back home from Canada first thing in the morning. The first thing Jake did when he saw his dad was run over and give him a big hug before bursting into tears. It was so heartbreaking, and me and Charles weren't able to keep it together either. And the three of us shared a tender man cry that lasted over 10 minutes. Charlie asked if I'd watch Jake a little longer, which I happily obliged, so he could go over to his wife's place to have it out with her. Just as he arrived, with perfect timing, he was able to capture his wife's lover, who was making a run for it, and after a minor interrogation, it seems his self-preservation instincts outweighed any loyalty he had to Naomi, because no sooner was legal action mentioned that he came clean about the affair. Mountains of freshly acquired, incontrovertible proof in hand. Charlie and his cheating wife had a lengthy discussion. Apparently, even after everything, she was still adamant she'd done nothing wrong and continued making excuses. But Charlie just ignored her and said his piece regardless. It probably goes without saying, but Charlie won custody of Jake, and he made sure his lawyer squeezed as much compensation out of his traitorous ex-wife as possible in court. Ultimately, she was kicked out of the house with nothing but the clothes on her back. Charlie then sold the house and blocked her on everything, cutting her out of his life completely. It's just like he says, what she's getting now is nothing compared to the way she treated poor Jake. However, not wanting to cause too much disruption to his school life, he asked if he could leave him with me for a little while, which I happily obliged. What can I say? I like the kid. With that, he returned to Canada for work. Not long afterwards, his company decided that his stay up north would be coming to an end in the near future, and he'd return to America for good. As one last memory up there, and also by way of thanking me, he invited me up to Canada for a 2-week vacation. Me and Jake, who seems to be my biggest fan now because of everything that happened, went up to meet his dad together. compared to that lonely, emaciated kid in the park, he's like a different person now. He's always smiling and full of joy, and is honestly a pleasure to be around. In fact, he's doing so well that he even teases me about the fact that I got dumped by my girlfriend back then. Not funny!
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Matt, did you get off work yet?
Yeah, I just got home as a matter of fact. How about you? You chilling out, maxing, relaxing, oh cool?
You betcha. I've been spoiling myself like a princess lately. Don't get me wrong, I still make sure to keep on top of things around the house. Simple stuff, at least. But I spend most of my time doing sweet FA.
If you're chilling out, you're happy, and if you're happy, I'm happy, babe. You'll have the job of your life on your hands when you give birth to our baby boy. So I want you to relax to the max until then. Get in as much you time as possible, okay? That means doing stuff you enjoy. Within reason, of course. I don't want you doing any backflips or going on any roller coasters, but well, yeah, you catch my drift.
Don't worry, I don't have any backflips or theme park trips scheduled for the time being. I've been knitting little sweaters and hats for the baby. I even made a sling to wrap our little bundle of joy in so I can still be mobile while keeping an eye out. To tell you the truth, every day is a blast lately.
Wow, you did all that? Why don't you prioritize yourself instead of the baby for a change, eh?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is what I enjoy doing the most, so in a way, I am. Thank you, Matt. I know your mom and dad were opposed to me going back to my folks' place for a home birth, and I really appreciate you bringing me out here. It's all thanks to you that I'm able to relax and take it easy like this.
Don't mention it. Besides, it was never their right to decide in the first place. I know how hard living with my parents can be at the best of times. The last thing I wanted was them giving you a hard time while you were pregnant. You must be sick of my mom with the way she constantly barks orders at you, right? I couldn't have you putting up with that anymore. Especially not now we have our son to think about. You know, she's complaining that she has to do the housework herself now you're gone. The idea of her backside to clean the place up so far out of the question for her that she actually hired a housemaid.
Really? I guess it is a big house. I feel like it'd take a whole day to clean the entire place.
Right? And who was it who forced you to do just that all this time? I want you to know that when you come back from your folks' place after the birth, you don't have to lift a finger. I want you to carry on relaxing and taking it easy for a while. I'll tell Mom to carry on hiring the maid.
But Matt, I'm your wife. Is she really gonna be okay with that?
Don't worry about my mom. We were only ever supposed to be living with my parents for 2 years. Once you get home after the birth, those 2 years will almost be over.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, please go ahead and talk to her. I mean, it's not like I mind helping out, but I'm not sure how useful I'd be if I had to juggle housework with raising a newborn baby. So I think it's better I just focus on our son. Lord knows I'll have my hands full. Of course, I'll still do little bits here and there.
Sure, babe, just do whatever you can. And don't demand too much of yourself. If she ever says anything to you, I want you to let me know immediately, okay? I mean it. Don't hesitate. I won't tolerate her causing you any more trouble than she already has.
Thank you. Just hearing you say that, it feels like a weight's been lifted from my shoulders.
Man, they really did give you a hard time, huh? They never listened to a word you said, and they stopped at nothing to get you to do their bidding. Things are gonna change big time when you come back. Oh yeah, guess what they started doing after you left? Trying to come up with names for our baby, my parents. As if it's their God-given right.
Huh? Wait, what? Your mom and dad are coming up with names for our baby?
Right? To quote my mom, Don't trouble yourself with coming up with a name, dear. Me and your father will take care of it. They never shut up about the baby being the successor to our proud lineage and family name. You think we were aristocrats in freaking medieval Europe. Don't worry, though. There's no way I'm letting them get their way.
Of course not. The baby's name is important. It's only natural we're the ones who decide on it.
You said it. Anyway, how long is it now? It must be less than a month out, right? I can't wait. I wonder what kind of person our son will grow up to be.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sweetie. He's not even here yet.
I can't tell you how excited I am, though. I feel like a kid at Christmas again. I hope it takes after you and not me in the looks department. Come to think of it, it's probably for the best it takes after you personality-wise, too. You are super kind.
Why so self-deprecating all of a sudden, sweetie? Our son will be perfect whoever he takes after. Because he's ours. Besides, you're the kind one.
Kind to you, maybe?
Nuh-uh, you're kind to everyone. Oh, sorry, it's almost supper time. I gotta go.
Sure thing, babe. Enjoy.
One more thing, Matt. Thanks for putting so many hours in at the office for me and the baby. I want you to know we appreciate ya.
Where did that come from?
I think it every day. It's only right I let you know. I'm so happy I married you. You're so kind and thoughtful.
Hey, that's my line. You're not just kind either. You have the patience of a saint. Not many people would have what it takes to tolerate living with my parents. But don't think you have to go out of your way to carry on having anything to do with them once we move out. What really matters is mine, yours, and our baby's happiness. That's our real family, right there. Oops, sorry, babe, I'm hopping on. You should go and enjoy your supper.
Got it. Okay, sweetie. I'll text you later.
Hello there, Chrissy. How's the baby doing?
Hey, Elaine. The baby's doing great. He sure is energetic today. I feel like I have a little drummer in my belly. The doctor said he's growing healthy.
I'm glad to hear it. I can't deny you giving birth out in the middle of nowhere at your parents' house worries me though. Are you sure this is a good idea? It is really an appropriate medical environment to be giving birth in. It's such a shame. If you'd have just listened to my sagely advice and had the birth at the reputable university hospital I oh so kindly recommended, you'd have nothing to worry about.
You say it's in the middle of nowhere, but the facilities out here aren't too shabby, you know? There's a general hospital nearby. All the reviews I read online were 5-star. Apparently, they're amazing in emergencies.
Even still, I'm not sure you can seriously compare it to a university hospital in the big city. A countryside general hospital seems like a lousy environment to me. That boy in your belly is the heir to be our proud lineage and family name. We'll be in a lot of trouble if you don't bring our little treasure into the world safely.
Obviously, that's what I want too. But no matter how thoroughly you plan, the unpredictable will always find a way to happen. All of my son, no matter what.
It must be nice having such a nonchalant attitude towards everything. That child will be the successor to my husband's company. I really wish you'd start treating the situation with the gravity it deserves.
Excuse me? Surely you don't know that yet. He hasn't even been born yet.
Irrelevant? What on earth are you talking about? Of course it has to inherit the company. Matt refused to take it on himself, so who else does that leave us? All my husband's hard work will have been for nothing otherwise. It's your child's responsibility to clean up after the mess his bungling father made.
But me and Matt will support our boy in whatever he wants to do. Who are we to try and force him down a predetermined path against his will? If he grows up and decides he wants to inherit the company one day, then great. But there's no guarantee of that happening, so I can't promise anything, and you shouldn't expect me to either.
The child could have everything. Just think, the path to company president riches, renown, prestige, all laid out for him before he's even born. Who in their right mind wouldn't jump at the chance? Apart from my useless wet noodle of a son, of course. Ugh. Listen, Chrissy, I won't bore you by going on and on. But the bottom line here is that you're to raise that child as the successor to my husband's company. It's to receive a special education for gifted individuals from an early age. Surely you and my son don't object to that?
To be honest, we haven't even thought about what kind of education we're gonna give him yet. First and foremost, all that matters to us is that he's born safely and in good health.
Ugh, the horror. Ugh, what did I expect from a high school dropout? Oh, do forgive me, dear. I wasn't trying to insult or criticize you. It's just that you have to remember that unfortunately, this child will inherit your inferior low IQ genes. That means we have to offset the damage as much as possible by providing it with an elite, first-class education as early as we can. You understand that, don't you?
Don't worry, Elaine. I understand exactly how you feel about me and my educational history. But me and Matt will decide on how to raise the baby ourselves. Because he's our child.
Huh? I've never heard anything so ridiculous. Do you even think before you send me this nonsense? Take a look at my son, for heaven's sake. He was able to go to a top-class college and enter a major global company thanks to the elite parenting and education I provided him with. Most people would kill for an opportunity to receive this sagely advice of someone as knowledgeable as me. The only reason you have the financial security to be able to live like a lady of leisure as a stay-at-home housewife is because I raised my son into such a fine example of a man. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Elaine.
And that's not all. We need to discuss the child's name. Me and my husband have been doing some thinking. We decided it's going to be called Matthias.
What? Elaine, please forgive me, but me and Matt have agreed we'll decide on a name. After the baby's been born and we've seen its face.
You've agreed to do what? What's wrong with Matthias? I think it's a delightful name. It's classy, dignified, has an air of tradition, not like these ridiculous trendy names that seem to be in fashion these days. I read about someone calling their girl Coconut in one of my magazines the other day. Can you believe that? Matthias is a normal name. What's the problem?
Please don't misunderstand me here. I think Matthias is a really nice name. But Matt's name is, well, Matt. It's too similar.
Duh, we chose it precisely because it's similar. You imbecile, my son's brilliant. But he has personality problems. We plan on raising little Matthias as Matt II, this time without any of the defects.
Wow, you plan on doing what? That's not fair, Elaine. Matt and the baby are different people.
That may be so, but it's the child's duty to make up for the failures of his father. He'll be everything my son is and more. Think of him as a kind of replacement.
A replacement? I'd really appreciate it if you stopped talking about my husband like he has something wrong with him. And if you could stop thinking of my son like he's some tool to be manipulated and used for your own gain. That'd be great. No one's perfect, me and you included. And for better or worse, our son has the right to walk his own path. It's not our place to deprive him of that.
Gah, I've had it with you. How dare you answer back to me, your mother-in-law, you little bitch? Do you have any idea who you're speaking to? Who the hell do you think it was who approved yours and Matt's marriage in the first place? Lord knows you're an awful match. You should be thanking your lucky stars I was so kind. If you insist on being so downright impertinent and refusing to show me the respect I deserve as your mother-in-law, I'll have no choice but to rethink my decision.
Wow, Elaine. I'm sorry if I upset you. Will you please calm down? I understand how you feel, but we don't think it's fair to decide on our son's future before he's even born. Besides, he's mine and Matt's son, not yours.
Good grief, you really are an irredeemable moron. All you need to do is give birth, half-wit. Leave the rest to me and my husband. You clearly don't have the intelligence or common sense to raise him into the fine example of a man he could be with mine and my husband's guidance. So just do as you're told.
Look, I'm sorry. But when it comes to my son, I won't back down. Me and Matt will raise him as we see fit, and that's final.
Oh, that's final, is it? You think you're so clever, don't you? What on earth has gotten into you all of a sudden? I always knew you were an idiot, but I've never known you to be this darn arrogant. I always thought you were a respectful, quiet girl. I must finally be seeing your true colors.
Huh?
What benefit do you possibly think a blithering moron like you could bring to your son's life? How dare you talk back to me? Does your arrogance know no bounds? How much do you have to ridicule your aged mother-in-law before you'll be satisfied?
I'm really not talking back to you or trying to upset you or anything. You gave me your opinion. All I did was give you mine back. Is that not allowed? I wasn't trying to ridicule you. Not at all.
That's called talking back. You were still in diapers when I was raising your husband, you insolent little upstart. Do you have any idea how much more I know about children than you? I hope you know that beyond giving birth, you serve absolutely no purpose to this family. If you want me to acknowledge you as my daughter-in-law, then I suggest you tread very, very carefully and do exactly as you're told from now on, because I'll be watching you like a hawk, girlie.
Chrissy, you awake?
Yep, I'm still up. What's up? Did something happen?
I know this is really sudden and what I'm about to say will shock you, but I want you to listen carefully.
What is it?
You need to stay at your parents' place after the birth and never come back here again. We can't let our son anywhere near my mom and dad.
Huh? Why would you say that? We can't let our son live with your parents? What's that supposed to mean? I'm giving birth the day after tomorrow. Wait, did your mom and dad say something to you? Is that where this is coming from?
My parents didn't say anything to me. Listen, I was speaking to the maid yesterday. You know, the girl my mom hired who's always over cleaning the place. Anyway, she told me something. Apparently, my mom and dad are planning on stealing our baby.
Stealing our baby? How? There's no way I let that happen. I'll never let anyone take my baby.
Yeah, my parents are fully aware of that, but think about this. How would you stop him if you felt so ill you were physically incapable of looking after him?
If I fell ill. But I'm fine. All of my medicals came back clear.
They're planning on turning you into their own personal slave when you come back. Apparently, they're gonna overwork you as much as possible so you reach breaking point before our 2-year stay with them comes to an end.
What?
Not only that, but they're gonna subject you to unending torrents of verbal abuse. Day in, day out, until you're not just physically broken, but mentally too. Then they're gonna report you to Child Protection Services, claim you're unfit to be a mother, and request custody of our boy. Basically, as soon as you come back after the birth, they're gonna cancel the maid so they can palm off all of her duties, and then some onto you. To the point that you're so broken, drained, and worn down that you're no longer capable of looking after yourself, let alone our son. At which point they're gonna swoop in and make their move on him.
Oh my god. Are they really that desperate to get their hands on our boy? I mean, I know they're pretty passionate about wanting him to inherit your dad's company, but this crosses the line.
I know it does, babe. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake to ever let them move in with us. I only did it because my mom said she'd give us a blessing on the marriage if we moved in with them for 2 years. But you know what? We never needed a freaking blessing in the first place. She can disappear into a hole for all I care. And she can take my nasty, abusive dad with her. I'm so sorry for everything they put you through.
Don't be silly, Matt. I agreed to move in too. It's not like you forced me. It was a 50-50 decision. She's your mom, and I wanted her to acknowledge me as your wife. We did this together. It wasn't just you, so stop blaming yourself, okay?
In any case, my mind is made up and my will is resolute. We won't have anything else to do with them after this. They'll be gone from our lives forever. I was reluctant at first, but I thought we'd come to some kind of mutual understanding eventually after living together for a while. But looking back, I know now I was kidding myself. I was naive to think they could ever change. From now on, me and you are gonna focus on nothing but ourselves, the baby, and our happiness as a family. And screw anyone who tries to get in our way.
I'm with you, honey. I want you to know that we'll always be a team, no matter what. There's nothing I won't do for my baby. I'll stop your parents getting their hands on him if it's the last thing I do.
Chrissy, when will you be coming back from your parents' house? Hasn't it been long enough already? I thought you were supposed to be coming back last month. How long do you plan on lazing around on mommy's and daddy's dime? I'd also like you to tell me why you've been ignoring my messages and calls. Go on, explain yourself. What's with this rebellious, impertinent attitude of yours?
Mom, it's Matt.
Huh? Matt?
I'm with Chrissy.
Ah, yes, of course, I remember now. You told me yesterday you'd be going to see her today. In that case, I want you to pass on a message. Tell her to start fulfilling her duties as your wife. As things stand, she still lives with us. We've managed somehow or other up till now, but things will start getting very difficult for me and your father if she doesn't come home soon.
What do I have to say to make you understand? Chrissy isn't your personal housemaid.
I never said she was.
So why did you force her to spend every waking moment doing the housework for the best part of 2 years, huh? And if that wasn't bad enough, you always yelled across the house and summoned her like you were some kind of queen, making her wait on your hand and foot, ordering her to make you teas and coffees and take away your dishes when you got done eating. To top it off, in spite of the fact she was cleaning the entire house every single day, you never once said thank you.
Everyone knows it's a bride's sworn duty to serve her in-laws. Some people might call it old-fashioned or archaic, but it's tradition, and traditions are important.
I know exactly how you feel, Mom. I just don't understand it. I have no intention of letting you carry on, forcing her to be yours and Dad's slave.
Don't talk silly. Me and your father would be lost without her helping out around the house. She's your wife, and as your wife, she has a duty to serve you and your family like her life depends on it. Stop going easy on her and bring her back to this house this instant.
Mom, me and Chrissy won't be coming back home.
Excuse me, what did you just say? You won't be coming home? What's that supposed to mean? You mean you're staying with your parents for a while?
No, I think you'll understand exactly what it means if you take a look at our bedroom. All of our stuff is gone. We're done living with you.
Wait, what? How could you? You wouldn't. You can't. You can't just decide to move out without mine and your father's permission. Who do you think you are?
We can and we are, and that's not all. We're cutting off all ties with you and Dad and Mom.
Matt, you stop this nonsense at once. We are your parents. You're our son, our only son. You can't do this. What's your father supposed to do about his company with you gone?
Not my problem. I'm sure I can find someone talented enough to hand it over to. Why does it have to be with me in the first place? I've been with a different company for nearly a decade now. How many times do I have to tell you I have no intention of inheriting it before you understand? I'm at my wit's end, Mom. You left me no choice because you refused to listen.
In that case, hand over the child. Me and your father will raise that boy into the greatest CEO there ever was.
No chance.
No chance. Yes, exactly. If you go through this, me and your father are going to have no chance at finding a suitable successor. Don't do this to us. We can't let the company leave the family. All of your father's hard work and his father before him gone, like dust in the wind.
That's for you and Dad to deal with.
Why, you little ingrate. Do you have any idea how hard your father worked to maintain and develop that company? How much blood, sweat, and tears went into this prosperity and success?
I know how hard he worked, and I think he's nothing short of incredible for it. But that has nothing to do with me, and nothing to do with my son.
Of course it does. It has everything to do with you. Without the money your father made with that company, you wouldn't have become half the man you are. The company gave you everything, and you're about to let some outsider get their grubby hands on it?
So what? I'm done doing as I'm told. Ever since I was a kid, I did nothing but follow your orders, like I had no will of my own. I went to the middle school, high school, college, grad school you wanted me to go to. I learned the piano, trumpet, went to calligraphy classes, trained karate, and took private leadership tutoring. All because you and Dad wanted me to, I tolerated it all. I didn't complain once, but as soon as I told you there was something I wanted to do, you repudiated me. You mocked and ridiculed me so badly that eventually I lost the courage to even tell you I had dreams of ambitions of my own.
Look, son, I accept it. Maybe you did have to tolerate things you didn't want to do from time to time. But if not for that, you wouldn't have grown into the brilliant, successful man you are today. Me and your father worked hard to ensure you'd lead a happy life. No, you forced me to do things I didn't want to do against my will.
Of course I'm grateful that you raised me, but what you did was wrong. It's time to stop treating me like a sacrificial lamb to your own failed ambitions. As long as you think the way you do and act the way you act, we have no intention of letting you see your grandson.
Tell me where you are, right now. We need to talk.
No chance. We're somewhere you and Dad have no hope of finding us.
Tell me where. If you refuse to tell me, I'll have no choice but to drive to your office and ask your boss. I wonder what he'd think of that. Is that what you want, Matt? Is it?
Do what you like. I don't even work there anymore. Just try not to kick up such a fuss that the cops have to come and arrest you.
What? You quit your job? At that major global company? You quit? When?
Yep.
Actually, this is great. There's nothing stopping you from inheriting your dad's company now. The more I think of it, the more pleased I am. The timing's perfect. If you agree to take over the company, we'll give up on the child.
I'll never listen to another word you say. Goodbye, Mom. This will be the last time we ever speak.
Wait, what? Matt? Hold your horses, young man. Just wait.
Hi, Elaine. It's Chrissy. Matt just gave me back my phone. I wanted to say goodbye for the last time.
Chrissy, please, you have to make my son see sense. He'll listen to you. You're his wife. You're a mother now. Surely you understand better than anyone how much pain what Matt's doing is causing me.
For sure. There's no denying it. This must suck like hell for you. But I respect my husband's will. It's a shame that you never did end up giving us your blessing, but even still, we don't regret anything. I know it won't be easy, but do your best to forget about your son and grandson.
Chrissy, just wait. Please listen to me. If you agree to come home, me and my husband will buy you anything you want. Anything at all. How does that sound? Not only that, but you'll never have to do any housework anymore. For as long as you live. You can laze around on the sofa all day eating Cheetos and watching soap operas for all I care.
Do you seriously think any of that sounds appealing to me? Don't treat me like I'm an idiot.
Chrissy, I'm begging you, please. My husband will be furious with me if you go through this. I think you already knew this, but he gets violent when he's angry. If he finds out you and our son pulled a vanishing act, my life is over.
So let me get this straight. You're saying I should sacrifice my son and husband's future to make you happy? You should know that my family is the only thing in this world that matters to me, and you and your husband are not a part of it. We're never coming back there.
Please, Chrissy, please. I'll never say anything else about your son's education. You can raise him however you like, I promise. We'll cover all of his tuition fees. Please, I'm begging you, just come back. You have to come back. What will it take for you to give me another chance? I'll give yours and my son's marriage my blessing. I'll acknowledge you as my daughter-in-law. Please, just come back.
Are you serious? You plotted to steal my son, for crying out loud. You're not my in-laws. You're nothing to me. You can keep your blessings to yourself. My only priority from here on out is to build a happy home full of smiles and laughter with my husband and son. The likes of you and your husband have no place in that. After that, my in-laws panicked and embarked on a frenzied quest to track us down. But apparently they gave up a year later when they heard we'd moved abroad. Newborn babies are allowed to fly after 8 days, but the flight would have been long, and we didn't want to put our son through any unnecessary stress. Which is why we continued living incognito in the States until he was 6 months old before escaping overseas. The word escape might be a little misleading, but the reason we actually left the States was for Matt's new job. I heard the in-laws completely lost it when they realized they'd never see their son or grandson again. They showed up at my folks' place begging for information on our whereabouts on countless occasions, and Elaine's face was all bruised and swollen every time. I can't tell you how relieved I am that we managed to escape from Matt's violent, controlling dad and his subservient lapdog of a mother. The biggest irony in all this is that his dad's company had been dire straits for years, and unless some miracle-working business genius came along and turned things around, the looming bankruptcy was a far bigger issue than the lack of a successor. Forcing anyone onto a path they don't want to go down is bad enough, but the fact that they were so desperate to palm off a failing company onto a little kid who knew nothing of the world is downright despicable. I don't know whether it was down to Matt's dad's stubbornness or pride, but he showed no signs of relenting even until the very end. I don't know what the future holds for my in-laws, but it's hard to believe two people so horrible their own son felt he had no choice but to cut all ties with them could ever be happy. Unless they do some serious soul-searching and change their ways, something tells me we won't be the last people to make a tactical retreatment from their lives. As for me and Matt, we're living in a hectic life of work and child-raising abroad. But one thing's for sure, we're the happiest we've ever been, and we wouldn't change it for the world. We're still not completely used to life in a foreign country, but I'm so happy we can finally raise our son without worrying about unwanted interference from third parties. I'll never forget what we had to go through to get here, and I count my lucky stars every day. I'm so grateful for my husband and all of the other amazing people in our lives who are always there to support us. It almost doesn't feel real, but I finally realized my dream of building a happy home full of smiles and laughter with my husband and son. Hey, wait, my stew's gonna boil over. Gotta go.
Olivia, I have a favor to ask. Can you clean my room for me?
Huh? Are you coming home, Sophia?
You know that I'm pregnant, right? I'm planning to give birth in my hometown.
Have you told Mom about this? I don't think she mentioned anything about you coming home.
No, I haven't told her yet. I just decided a while ago.
I thought this wasn't your plan from what I remember.
Yeah, I never planned to give birth in my hometown, but I realized that where I live now is pretty close to my husband's parents' house. I don't want them to visit our house often to see the baby. It's tiring. I have a feeling that his mother is really excited about me having a baby.
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand your situation now. I'll clean your room for you, but be sure to tell Mom about this as soon as possible.
Yep, I'm planning to text her later. Mom's still out working, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she'll be home by noon.
I'll text her when she finishes work then. By the way, when are you gonna get married and leave the house, Olivia?
Why would you ask?
You're single and you live with your parents. You don't even work for a company.
Well, that's true, but depend on my parents for my living expenses. I'm capable of supporting myself with the money I earn.
Oh, I remember. You call yourself a cartoonist, don't you? Are you serious, Olivia? Do you think that's a decent job? You're 30 and you still haven't produced a hit cartoon. Stop relying too much on our parents.
I told you I'm not living off my parents. I earn my own living expenses myself. It's true that I sometimes depend on them to take care of my laundry, but I'm a full-grown adult looking after myself.
I'm married and even pregnant now. But look at you, Olivia. I bet Mom and Dad are disappointed in you.
Seriously, Sophia? How am I a disappointment when there's you? Do you understand how much trouble you've caused our parents? Quitting your job and asking them for money? And I heard you still ask them to send you money even though you're already married.
I'm contributing to the aging society by giving birth. And I'm giving birth to their grandson, who they always hoped to have. I thought you were also happy about me getting pregnant because you no longer would be pressured about getting married.
I'm looking forward to meeting your baby too.
Right? The truth might hurt, but it's clear that I'm the better daughter. To be honest, I don't think my jobless sister is in the position to criticize me.
How many times do I have to tell you that I have a job?
Okay. I guess you're pretty delusional.
Just leave me alone. If you're gonna make fun of me, I won't clean your room. I've lost all my motivation to do anything for you.
Are you seriously going to make your pregnant sister clean the room? Wow. I never knew that my sister was such a terrible person.
If you want me to clean your room for you, shut your mouth and stop saying nasty things about me.
I'm just worried about you, sis. You should really stop relying on your parents too much. Trust me. Our parents are also aging, all right?
Says you. I honestly think you should be worried about yourself more than me.
Oh my goodness. Stop being jealous of me just because I'm married and you're not. Be sure to clean my room, okay? I'll text Mom about me coming home later. If you can't even complete this task, you're completely useless in the household, sis. Hey, Olivia, can you get me some ice cream and jelly? Oh, and also get me 2 pieces of strawberry cake from the new pastry.
All right, but isn't that too much? I saw you drinking some juice and eating snacks before I left.
I can't help it. I need to feed both myself and the baby.
You eat twice the amount we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as well, Sophia. I think you're eating too much.
You're annoying me. Just give me what I ask. Respect the pregnant lady. Follow her orders.
I've never been pregnant, so I'm not sure, but I thought you weren't supposed to consume too much sugar and carbs when you're pregnant. I've heard that it results in high blood pressure.
It's fine. I'm perfectly healthy. Stop with all the nonsense. You don't understand what it's like to be pregnant. It's my body, and I know the best about it.
All right. I'll get what you asked for, but be sure to pay me back later, okay?
Huh? You're gonna make me pay?
Of course. You always ask me and Mom to get stuff for you. But do you know that it costs us more than $30 every time we go shopping for you? Imagine how much it costs us monthly if you make us go shopping every single day.
Why do you have to make it sound like a big deal?
It is a big deal. It's a huge expense, Sophia. Didn't Mom tell you when you came home? I'm pretty sure she told you that we'll provide you with your basic needs and living expenses, but you'll have to pay on your own if you need anything else.
I can't believe it! Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. And Mom's also serious about this. When my friend came home to give birth in her hometown, I heard she prepared all the money beforehand.
That's ridiculous. Why would I have to pay when I'm at my parents' house? It's the parents' duty to take care of their children. You have a weird friend, Olivia.
It's not like we're asking you to pay for all your living expenses. We want to support you as much as we can, Sophia. We're just asking you to pay on your own when you need anything that's not part of your basic living needs.
But snacks and sweets are part of my basic needs too. I'm not asking for much.
Think about the large amount you eat on a daily basis. You eat several packages at once. Ask us to get you sweets from famous patisseries, and even make us get expensive stretch mark creams. Why would we have to get these for you all the time? Why do we have to pay for all these things you ask us to get?
I'm staying at my parents' house. My family can pay for me while I'm here.
Sophia, you have to understand that our parents don't have an infinite amount of money. Plus, Mom is helping you prepare with the baby equipment. I think you're asking for too much.
You're so annoying. My jobless sister shouldn't have the right to interfere in my business. The money you're using to buy my snacks are not even your money. Stop pretending like you're paying when it's all of our parents' money. You're being arrogant, you know that?
It's my money. I earned them myself.
Oh, I get it now. You're pissed because you can only earn a teeny tiny amount of money on your own.
Of course not. I'm telling you again, but I'm not gonna buy all of your sweets if you're not gonna pay me back later.
Okay. I'll pay.
Are you serious?
Stop annoying me and just do what I tell you. Be a useful sister. It's the least you can do for your family.
Sophia,
Oh, you're making me feel tired. My stay would have been better if you didn't annoy me so much. If only you weren't here. So lucky to have nice parents. I love them so much.
You shouldn't think that they'll always be nice to you.
Huh? Why would she be harsh to her daughter, who would soon be the mother of her grandson?
You're the one who thinks that way, Sophia.
Stop talking nonsense. I bet you're scared that Mom and Dad would only love me in the future. I wonder how many days are left until you're kicked out of the house.
That's not what I'm talking about. It makes me think that it's impossible to have a proper conversation with you at this point.
Stop acting dumb. You just want to ignore reality. I get it. You can't accept the difference between us sisters. One married and one jobless, living off their parents.
Let's end it here. I don't think I can have a conversation with you anymore.
Whatever. But don't forget to get me what I asked you earlier. I have to prepare for giving birth to my baby. Just do what I say, jobless single sis. Enjoying your vacation, Olivia?
Vacation? I'm on a business trip right now.
How can you be on a business trip when you're jobless? Stop making up ridiculous stories.
I'm only telling the truth.
Oh, poor Olivia. You're 30 but still delusional. I decided to treat you harsher so that you can face reality. You no longer have a room when you get home from your trip.
Huh? What do you mean?
I moved all your stuff into the garage. A jobless person like you doesn't deserve a room.
Did you move all of my stuff alone with your big belly? I don't think Mom would help you.
Of course I didn't. That's ridiculous. My husband did all the work for me.
Your husband?
Yep, I asked him to quit his job and come live with me. My husband and I would be living in our parents' house from now on. So, get out of the house, jobless single sis.
Okay. Was this your plan all along? To kick me out of the house?
Maybe. Who cares? I guess your annoying attitude made me want to kick you out. Even though you're jobless and not in a position to criticize me, you kept bothering me. I feel sorry for you losing your home, but it's your fault, Olivia.
Just because I'm kicked out of my parents' house doesn't mean that I don't have a new house to live in. I bought a room in a high floor of a condominium, so don't worry.
Huh? Condominium? How come? A jobless single woman like you? Stop being ridiculous. You're crazy. You've lost your mind, sis.
It's you who's crazy. I bet you haven't told Mom about it yet, right?
Yeah, now that your room's open, there would be enough rooms for me and my husband as well as our baby. I bet Mom would be happy. I guess she'll even thank me. I successfully kicked out her jobless daughter after all.
You're really crazy, Sophia. You have no idea.
It's you who have no idea. You're a jobless, middle-aged woman living off of her parents, contributing nothing to society. I'm telling you beforehand that I won't even help you if you beg me to. Stop bothering our family. Don't you ever come back. Sis? Why aren't you answering my calls? I've called you so many times since last night.
I had a party to attend last night, so I was quite busy.
Mom was so angry that I kicked you out. She didn't want me to move in with my husband. She also told me that we were renting this house. I always thought we owned it.
Yep, we don't own the house.
Is it true that you were paying the rent?
Yep, that's true too.
And you're a professional cartoonist?
Yep.
So you're really moving into the condominium?
I never lied to you, Sophia.
You never told me! I never knew you were actually making money by being a cartoonist.
I told you I was earning enough money to support myself. Plus, I've always said that I draw cartoons for a living.
I didn't think you were a professional who earned a lot of money. You could have told me if you were a pro. Hey, what's your pen name?
I'm not telling you.
Why? Let me brag about having a famous cartoonist in my family.
That's the reason why I don't want to tell you. First of all, I don't understand why I have to tell you, who's been so rude to me all this time.
It's because I didn't know. I wanted to ask you, is it true that Mom and Dad are also moving into the condominium soon?
They're moving after you give birth and leave the house. We're selling the house as well.
Oh, I see. Then, I guess my husband and I will also join you in the condominium.
Huh? Why would you think so?
My husband quit his job and came to live with us. He agreed to look after our parents when they're older and need extra care. In that case, we should be allowed to live with you, right?
You're talking nonsense, Sophia. The condominium is not our parents' house. It's my house, and I'm the owner. I invited Mom and Dad to live with me, but you're not invited. It's my house, and there's no room for you two.
You can't do this to us. Olivia! We won't have a house to live in.
Isn't it you and your husband's fault for deciding without asking us? Our parents never asked your husband to quit his job and come live with them. You should have discussed it with us in the first place.
It's because I always thought that we owned that house.
But that doesn't change how selfish you are. And it's none of my business. Our parents and I don't think we can help you at this point.
Our baby is almost born. You know that, right?
So what?
So what are we gonna do if we don't have a house after our baby is born?
You can still stay at our old house for a month after you give birth. There's plenty of time to find a new house.
We don't have money.
Huh? But your husband quit his job, right? I thought you two had some savings.
We never really saved money.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe he decided to quit his job when you two have no savings at all. You two really plan to rely on our parents, huh? You've been making fun of me all this time, calling me a jobless, middle-aged woman living off of our parents. But turns out that you were the one living off of them.
I'm so sorry, Olivia. Please let us live in your condominium.
I don't think I can accept that.
We have a baby. It's your nephew, Olivia. You have to allow us to live with you for his sake.
If you really wish for the best for your son, you two should work hard and become his role models. Stop relying on me.
I promise I won't make fun of you anymore. I'll help with the housework and also your job too.
I have enough assistants who would perfectly complete what I told them to do. There's nothing you can do to help me with my job.
The baby can help when you're drawing young characters. You can see him grow with your own eyes.
I do want to be by his side as he grows up. And I also understand that he's not to be blamed for this matter.
Right. Please let us move in with you for your nephew's sake.
But that's a different story. I don't really want to, but I'll prepare you some money as a way to congratulate his birth. That's the first and last thing I can do for my nephew. Use the money wisely and prepare for your new life.
No! I want to live in the condominium too, with Mom and Dad.
Did Mom and Dad accept that request?
No. They told me they've done enough for me.
That's the answer, Sophia. You've always asked them for money, even after you got a job and got married.
It was hard to make ends meet.
But you never thanked them or gave them anything in return. And what's worse, you were trying to depend on them financially with your husband. It's not like his company went bankrupt or he fell sick, but you still decided to rely on our parents. I heard your husband was planning to get a part-time job.
I wanted him to have enough time to look after the baby with me.
Salary from his part-time job cover all your living expenses? Weren't you planning to ask our parents for money? Your husband could have been able to look after the baby even if he was out working. And I think it's the parents' duty to earn money for their child. You two don't even have any savings. Now is the time when you two have to work extra hard.
I'll make sure my husband gets a stable job. So can we live with you now? We'll try not to bother you, Olivia.
You're still asking me to let you two live with us?
Please. I want to look after him properly. And I think it's best if he can grow up in a good environment.
You can't live with us, Sophia.
Olivia, I'm so sorry. I apologize for making fun of you, and I regret everything I did to you. So please help us. Without you, we'll have nothing left. No house, no money.
I won't help you even if you beg me to. Stop bothering our family. Don't you ever come back. Wasn't it you who said this to me?
I'm so sorry. I beg you for forgiveness, Olivia. It was all my fault.
You don't have to apologize. I won't be looking after you anyways. I won't bother you, so don't bother me. Don't come begging me for help. One last thing. You no longer have a home to come back to. My sister continuously begged to let them live with us in the condominium, crying a flood of tears. But my parents and I never approved. My sister and her husband gave up and started finding their new home. She successfully gave birth to her baby, and after a month of staying at our old house, my sister and her husband moved into an apartment which they were able to find after a long search. Our parents decided not to meet my sister, her husband, and their grandson until they were able to support themselves on their own financially. So I think my sister spent very busy days finishing all the housework while she also took care of the baby. I sometimes thought that I might have been too harsh on her, but my parents had a firm attitude about the decision they made, considering how spoiled my sister was until now. Her husband successfully found a job, and she told us that they were finally able to live together as a family after a year. My sister had to learn to tighten her belt, and she no longer asked our parents for money when she contacted them. She also apologized to me and our parents. It turns out that her husband's family also refused to help them financially, and her family seemed to have spent a really harsh year. Now that she has experience living under harsh conditions, she said she realized how much trouble she had been causing to her surroundings. She had made fun of me and even took out my stuff out of my room without my consent in the past. So I don't think I can develop a good relationship with her. But seeing her work hard as a mother made me want to wish the best of luck for her and her family. I guess I'm no different from my parents who still cherish her. Humans are capable of changing. It's hard and requires a lot of hard work, but we can always fix our mistakes. I won't be providing her with any financial support, but I'm planning to send my nephew a birthday present next year. Nothing can change the fact that he's my nephew, and he's not to be blamed for the incident. The relationship between me and my sister cannot be fixed, but I would always hope for the best for my nephew.
Morgan, are you coming to see us during your summer vacation this year? You're bad at keeping in touch. If you don't reply soon, I'm going to call you until you pick up.
Don't call me, please, Mom. I'm too tired today.
Fine. So what about your summer break, huh?
I don't think I can come see you. In fact, I might have to postpone my vacation. It's been really hectic at work.
I haven't seen you in so long, though. When will I see you?
I know, Mom, but I'm really busy. It's hard for me to find time, especially when we're far from each other.
You always say that. Ugh, I should have let you go to school in New York. You've become a busy city girl.
I'm sorry. It's just, we don't have enough people in my department, so it's difficult to take multiple days off right now. I need more than half a day just for traveling if I were to come see you. That means I need at least 4 days. I can't ask my teammates to take over for that long.
Yeah, right, but you go on trips sometimes.
I want to use my vacation to travel abroad as much as possible. And with friends. You know how important that is for me. Plus, traveling to a foreign country is very educational.
You still have plenty of time to travel, but your parents won't be around forever. You should come and see us while you still can.
You make it sound like I don't ever, but I do. I visited you last spring.
I'm saying you need to come see us more frequently, or should we come visit you in New York?
No, Mom. You hate flying, remember?
I'll be fine. I will get a plane if that is what I have to do to see my daughter. If you're not coming, we will.
No, really. I will make sure to visit soon.
You don't come to see us. You don't want to visit us. I'm hurt, Morgan. It's like you abandoned me.
Mom, you have company there. You have Denny and Crystal now living in the annex. How could you be abandoned?
Don't be such a smart ass with me. That's not what I mean, and you know it. I mean, I want to see my own daughter.
I know.
My friends always ask me about you. They wonder if you ever come to see us. They might think we're not close or something.
Why would they think that?
Why wouldn't they? Everyone else's children come back frequently, but you're never here. They might think we have issues in the family.
Mom, stop worrying about what others might think. You live in such a small world, and I'm sure they don't think that way.
I have a good reputation in the community, and I'd like to keep it that way. It would help if you show yourself more often so people don't rumor about our family. Aren't there friends from high school who are back here you want to see?
Yeah, there are a couple.
See? You should come and see everyone then. We're all waiting for you.
Fine, I will see if I can squeeze something in. Don't get your hopes up, though. The entire department is super busy around that time of year. Hey, Mom, it looks like I'm able to take some days off after all. My manager has agreed to take over my work. He said it's a treat for all my hard work.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that. What's the plan? Are you taking the evening flight after work?
No, I want to get done as much as possible. I am definitely working till late on the day before my break starts.
Oh.
I'll be way too tired to fly right after work anyway. I will take the early flight.
Sure. Your father is thrilled to see you too.
Hey, Mom, can you guys promise not to say things to me while I'm there? I don't want my visit to be uncomfortable.
What things?
You know, like, when are you getting married, or how much longer are you going to be in New York? You should move closer to us, blah, blah, blah. You and Dad always say stuff like that.
I don't remember saying anything of that sort.
You do, a lot. Mom, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't visit you often.
It is. Well, we don't have bad intentions. We just want to know how our daughter is doing.
It's more than knowing about how I am doing. You ask all these annoying questions about my life, and it stresses me out. I always regret that I'd ever gone back.
As a parent, these are important things to know. You can't stay single forever, you know. If at all, we say such things because we're worried about you, Morgan. I don't know if the city has urbanized you or what, but you need to settle down.
Your ideals are so outdated. I prefer staying in New York because no one thinks like you.
A man can stay single if he wanted to, but it's quite embarrassing for a woman to be leftovers.
What? Why just women? That is ridiculous, Mom, and not fair.
There are plenty of people who think the way we do. Our kind are not extinct. It's inevitable that your father and I make comments. Do you know how my relatives react when they find out you're still single? It's really about time for you to settle down.
It's my life. I will do as I please. Who cares about what people think or say?
You can't be so selfish. Can't you be considerate of your own family? I know, if you plan to come back eventually, why don't I look for someone?
No way. And I plan to stay in New York.
Don't you get that I'm offering you my help?
Whatever. Anyway, is Crystal around?
Now, she's right here.
Can I chat with her for a second?
Are you just trying to change the topic?
I want to say hi. Can you give her your phone, please?
You'll see her when you get here.
Come on, Mom. Let me talk to her.
This is Crystal. It's been a while, Morgan.
Hi, Crystal. Sorry I haven't kept in touch. I'm coming back for my summer vacation, so I hope I see you around.
Thanks for letting me know. Yes, I will be around. I hope you get to relax while you're home. I'll make sure not to bother you too much.
What? No! I'm the outsider now, invading into your space. I'm the one who might bother you.
You are always welcomed here, Morgan. Safe travels, and see you soon.
Yes. Oh, wait, is there anything you want from New York? Do you like sweets? I'm thinking about buying excellent cookies from a local pastry shop.
You should ask your mother what she prefers, really. I leave it up to her. Talk soon.
Okay.
Well, we all know she's not the cheerful type, but she should be a bit more polite to you, don't you think?
She's just cool, I guess.
I wish she was a bit more social. I don't want people to think I live with a depressed daughter-in-law.
Mom, she's just shy.
You have always been so accepting of people with different personalities. How does it not bother you?
Mom, how does it bother you so much? And you are way too worried of what other people think. Anyway, I'll let you know when I book my flight. Bye. Hi, Crystal. Where are you? Dinner should be arriving in a few minutes, so please be on your way back soon.
Thank you. I'm on my way, but please start without me.
It's okay. We can wait. Let's eat together.
I'm actually a bit far out. It'll take me a while to get back, so please, go ahead and start.
Far? But I saw you earlier. Weren't you by the lake?
Huh? You were watching?
Yeah, I passed by the lake on my way back from the market. That's when I saw you.
I see.
I couldn't stop because of traffic. What were you doing? It looked like you were picking some flowers or something. Were you collecting them for the dining table?
No, I was picking berries. I was going to have them for dinner tonight.
Huh? You want to eat berries for dinner? We have ordered sushi for everyone, remember? It'll be here in a minute.
That's for you all to eat. Mine is not included.
What? I don't understand.
My portion was not ordered, so you can begin without me.
You're joking, right? Why would we not order your portion? Do you not like sushi?
I do. That's not why.
Why then?
This is how it works. I'm not allowed to eat the same thing.
Excuse me? I'm confused. What are you talking about? Is something going on between you and my parents?
It's your mother.
What is it? You can tell me.
I'm not sure if you want to hear. I don't want you to think I'm talking behind their backs.
I would never think that. You can tell me what is going on. I won't tell anyone. So please tell me.
Dana hates me. I'm segregated in the house. Your father and brother are on her side, so they won't help.
What? Are you saying my mom is bullying you? And my dad and Denny are letting her do that?
Yes, that's about right. Your father and Denny pretends not to see what Dana is doing. I know they do, though.
No, that can't be. Are you always eating berries?
I'm not given any food, so I have to somehow feed myself. I'm also not given any money.
What?
I'm not allowed to spend a penny for myself. I'm not allowed to touch the credit card either. And I don't know where they keep the other bank cards, so I pick berries to eat.
They do that to you? My family? How could they treat you like that? I am so ashamed.
I'm forced to do all the chores, too. I have to cook for everyone, although I am not allowed to eat it myself. Honestly, I hate it.
I don't blame you. How did this happen?
I have no idea, but it started when we moved into your house. Your mother started to complain about me, and I was eating berries before I knew.
Oh my gosh. But Crystal, I don't get it. Why didn't you just run away? Why are you staying here?
I wanted to, but I couldn't. I don't have any relatives of my own, and I don't have access to money. Anyway, that's the story. You don't have to worry about me. You go on and enjoy your time with your family.
What the hell are you talking about? I can't let this go on any longer. What my mom is doing to you is outrageous. I am so sorry this has happened to you, Crystal.
You haven't done anything. Really, don't worry about me. It was my fault I didn't try hard enough to get along with your mother, and it's my problem that I don't have anyone to turn to. Everything is my fault.
That is not true, Crystal. I'll tell my mom to stop what she's doing to you.
Please don't. It won't change anything.
We have to do something.
Your mother won't listen anyway.
Yes, but I can't pretend like I don't know what's happening to you.
Morgan, you're going back to New York soon. I'm horrified that things will get worse once you're gone.
I'm not going to let that happen. We have to get you out of this. I'll think of how to deal with this.
Morgan, where are you? Did you forget to pick up something at the market? Catering has arrived and we're ready to eat. Everyone is waiting for you.
Everyone? You mean everyone but Crystal?
Huh?
Crystal was picking berries to eat for her dinner. What the hell, Mom?
Oh, Crystal doesn't eat any meat. She's vegetarian and she's weird, so she eats berries. She likes to prepare her own food.
Liar! You never let her eat what you guys are eating, do you? And you don't let her use any money. You treat her like a slave.
Did she tell you that?
Yes, she told me everything. How could you be so cruel? All of you. It's one thing for you to bully her, but it's another for Dad and Denny to let you do it.
Morgan, calm down. You're misunderstanding. We're teaching her how things work in our family, not bullying. You don't know how useless she is. So you have to be a little tough on her so that she learns.
Do you think I would believe that for a second? You treat her inappropriately because you just don't like her.
That's not true at all. I only want her to get along with everyone.
That's no excuse to bully her. First of all, why the hell do you think it's alright to call your daughter-in-law useless, or even say that you're teaching? She agreed to move into the annex to help you and Dad. Who the hell do you think you are? Shame on you!
Mind your own business, young lady. You don't live with us. You don't understand how clumsy she is. We can't let her do anything without supervision.
So you have zero sense of remorse, huh? Unbelievable. I am not coming back. I'm leaving. I'm heading to New York, now. I refuse to stay with you.
What? You're leaving? You just arrived.
In fact, I am never coming back. I don't want to see your face anymore. And for your information, Crystal is not coming back either.
Huh? Crystal? What do you mean?
I'm taking her with me. You don't let her touch any money, so she can't run from you. And she told me she had no one to turn to. So I am helping her.
What are you talking about? What good will that do? She's useless. She knows it. That's why she stays.
You made her believe that, Mom. You have taken away her freedom, called her horrible names. This is not bullying. This is abuse. She is not useless.
Just shut up and come back, Morgan. You can't be so selfish.
I am never setting foot in your house. If this is what it takes to free her, I am fine with being selfish.
Morgan?
I will take care of Crystal. As a member of the family who has abused her, I take responsibility. Tell Denny she is divorcing him. I will make all of you regret what you've done.
You will only make Crystal's life more difficult in New York, and the divorce is not something you decide. Now stop being silly and come back.
The divorce is Crystal's decision. You're so outdated that you probably don't know this, but there are plenty of organizations that help women like Crystal, and she has my support from here on. She can live however she pleases.
Stop it, Morgan. She belongs to us, not you. If you take her, we will simply come to get her. Don't think we'll just sit here quietly.
Go on, try. I will have her lawyer on standby, and we will definitely call the police if you try to take her against her will. Oh, I wonder what Denny's school would think if they found out one of their teachers got in trouble with the police. They'd be so worried how the students and parents react, don't you think?
Cut it, Morgan.
What if your friends and neighbors find out? There would be enough rumor with Crystal disappearing. What would they say about Denny with the police? Are you sure you want that, Mom? I thought you hated rumors. Can you imagine your reputation being ruined? In a blink, too?
We won't survive in this community if that ever happens, and you wouldn't dare trouble your brother like that. What do you want to do, destroy our family?
Like I said, Mom, I'm never coming back. So I don't care what happens to you.
Why would you want to bend yourself backwards for someone like her? You should be caring more for your own family, not her.
My family has done something terrible to another family member. Just because you're my mother, there's no way I'm letting this slide. You will all pay for how you've abused Crystal.
Now, Morgan, Please calm down. Maybe you're right. We went a little too far. I'm sorry.
And what else?
I won't mistreat her anymore. She can eat whatever she wants to. I won't complain about how she keeps the house.
Are you going to let her live her life?
Yes, she's free. So please calm down. Let's sit down and talk this through.
Okay, but I will let the lawyer do that. And as you promised, Crystal is free now, and never going back to your house. Aren't you glad I am so understanding?
What? No, that's not it. You're not understanding anything. How can you treat your mother like this? Are you enjoying this?
Of course not.
Well then stop it. Both of you come back here.
You talk as if you're being mistreated, when all you have done to Crystal is enslave her. And Dad and Denny just watched you do it. I do not consider any of you lunatics as my family. In fact, I will be coming after you as our enemy. This time, it'll be your turn to be taught how things work in the real world. We hired a lawyer once we arrived in New York. Crystal's self-esteem was so low that she wasn't sure if she could fight my family, but I made sure she had my support. Crystal was able to divorce Denny and win a significant amount of consolation money from him. She also sued my mother for emotional abuse, which she, of course, won as well. There were plenty of grounds which she could sue them for, including physical abuse, for which I felt even more horrible that I had not found out sooner. My parents must have been so afraid their reputation in the community would be ruined that they paid every money Crystal had won immediately and swore they'd never come after her or me. I later heard from one of my high school classmates that my mother has spread a different story to her friends. Her story was that Crystal had stolen their money and fled to New York. But of course, I already knew she would do something like that. So I made sure everybody knew the truth by spreading the real story beforehand. Little did she know, even though I hadn't seen my local friends, we have very strong ties and have always kept in touch. They rather enjoyed playing a part in my retribution, that the real story had reached most of the community before my family had realized. Denny goes into work hiding his face since the rumor had reached the neighboring county where his school is. I hope they really did learn their lesson. Crystal and I have become very close since and now share an apartment in New York. Crystal began working and has slowly gotten herself back. I only wish she finds peace and happiness, despite what my family put her through in the past. Hey Carl, how have you been? It's been a long time.
Mom, is that you? What do you want?
Well, I can hardly say it's a dire emergency, but you haven't been in touch much lately, have you? I was just wondering how you were, that's all. Is everything all right? How's life?
It's good. No, it's great.
That's fantastic, son. I'm pleased to hear it. That reminds me. Mildred from down the street gave me a lift home today. She grows vegetables in the plot in the yard, and she gave me a bunch which she said were spares. There's much more that I could eat myself here. Shall I send you some?
Forget it. How many times I gotta tell you I don't need that kind of crap. I can go buy my own vegetables.
But the cost of living is skyrocketing these days. There's no shame in accepting a handout, you know. We have to save money where we can.
Save money? You probably can't say the same, but I don't have to do degrading poor people stuff like that anymore.
Degrading poor people stuff? That's no way to speak about anyone, son. I didn't raise you like this. There's nothing degrading or shameful about saving money. They're saying a recession is on the way, so we might all have to tighten our belts, whether we like it or not, before long. You're still young, so surely you can't have that much put aside in savings.
You've been like this ever since I was a kid, huh, Mom? You always seem to miss stuff that's staring you right in the face. Think about it, with the money I have to pay for delivery on those vegetables, I could probably buy more by myself.
Don't be silly. I'll cover shipping. I want you to save your money for a rainy day.
In that case, I'd rather you just keep your mouth shut up and send me cash instead. I don't want your freaking turnips. You're too dim to think of something that obvious, though. I guess you are poor, though. Poor people aren't exactly known for their intellect, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Carl, you might be able to put on this bold front because you have money now. But no one knows what tomorrow's going to bring. It's wise to have money set aside in the event of an emergency.
You do know I work for a major global company, don't you? We're more well-known than most A-list celebrities. I'm hardly struggling.
Surely you know better than to be that naive. Companies go bankrupt overnight all the time. The world is particularly unstable these days. Look at all the major companies that have disappeared into the pages of history, once household names, but now only a handful of people know they ever even existed. You might have money now, but what about next month? Next year? In 5 years? By saving up diligently, you can have your feet planted firmly enough on that ground that you won't fall over at the first gust of wind.
I hardly need you to tell me that, Mom. What am I, 12?
I hope you're taking care to eat right, too. A well-balanced diet is a foundation of a healthy lifestyle. Particularly in your case, let's face it, you've always been a fussy eater. I remember when you were a little boy and refused to eat anything other than pasta and cucumbers. You've always been prone to going off the rails with these things. I know it might seem like I'm nagging, but I worry about you, son.
I'm not a poverty-stricken loser like you, Mom, so I really don't need your advice. One thing's for sure, I live a damn sight more intelligently more than you do. If anything, you should be begging me to impart my wisdom on you.
Poverty-stricken loser?
You're hardly doing great, are you? You married Dad and quit your job to be a stay-at-home housewife, but then he cheated on you and kicked you out to move his lover in. You have the worst judgment of all time. You're hardly in any position to be giving advice. It's thanks to your awful judgment I had to endure being raised by a single mom. I had to spend my childhood in that worn-out, trashy apartment because of you.
Sure, I accept that we didn't live in the biggest of apartments back then, but it's not fair to pretend you spent your entire childhood there. You know I did what I could to give you everything you needed once you moved up to elementary school.
You have no idea how badly I wished I was born into a normal family with normal parents. Why did I have to be the one who grew up without a dad? Why did I have to be the one who felt like crap every time the conversation turned to family at school? Why did my mom have to be so different to all the other moms? Why did you have to be poor? All I ever wanted was answers. Why did it have to be me?
I'm sorry, son. I know you never had it as easy as the other kids. You went through so much.
No kidding. All my co-workers at this company have super rich parents. I'm the only one here who was raised by a broke single mom. It makes me feel so ashamed I haven't told anyone. I'm still suffering because you and Dad didn't have it together, even now.
I see. I had no idea. But Carl, I want you to know I raised you with nothing but your success and happiness in mind. Please don't forget that. Not ever. Not a day goes by where I don't think of you, even though we're apart.
I don't need to hear this crap. If you really love me, stop wasting my time and send me $10,000. Maybe if you do that, I might consider believing you.
$10,000? 10,000? Are you struggling with money, son? Are you in trouble?
I want a new car. Everyone else's parents buy them cars except mine. I did think of buying my own, but my money alone just isn't gonna cut it.
Carl, you live in the city center. Why do you need a car? Didn't you yourself say you're fine without one?
Things are different now I have a real job. What must my co-workers think of me? It'd be bad enough if they found out I was raised by a single mom. Can you imagine if they knew I didn't have a car? Everyone knows a man's social status is defined by his car.
I see. A car, huh?
It's not like I'm asking you to pay for it all, but can't you at least come up with $10K for me? All my co-workers and friends' parents buy them cars. All I'm asking for is a little help. How much longer can I go on telling the guys at the office my Ferrari's at the garage for repairs? The embarrassment is killing me.
I see. Okay, son. You're going to get your car. I'll come up with the money somehow or other.
Wow, really?
Yes, really. I just want you to know there's a chance I won't be able to contribute much to your wedding fund when you find a nice girl to settle down with one day. It's not like I'm doing this as a substitute, but my savings have their limits.
Who cares about that? I didn't expect anything anyway. I'll be way happier with a car.
I want you to promise me you'll take good care of it, and safe driving is a must.
Come on, Mom, duh, of course I will. I'm gonna look for one I like right now. Send me the money once I've made my mind up, okay, Mom? I'm counting on you.
Carl, will you be coming home for your birthday this year?
Even if I did, there's nothing for me to do there. It's so boring at your place. You live in the middle of nowhere. Whatever. I guess I can come if I'm not doing anything else.
I see. Okay. Look after yourself, sweetie. Don't do anything your old mother wouldn't do.
Mom, I got married.
What? You had a girlfriend?
Duh, you stupid. Of course I did. This is me we're talking about.
Right. Still, though, it's a surprise to hear you're tying the knot all of a sudden. I'm so pleased you found that special someone. Will you be moving in together? When's the wedding?
I told you, Mom, we already got married. Past tense, ya doofus.
Huh? You got married? As in you're married right now?
Yep.
So you already live together?
Jeez! Man, it's a miracle my IQ is as high as it is with a moron of a mom like you.
Carl, why on earth didn't you tell me about this before the wedding? This is important.
I don't remember having a duty to report everything that happens in my life to you. Who are you, the government?
No. Sure, of course you don't have to tell me everything. But I would have loved to know, and to meet your bride-to-be before you tied the knot. Besides, surely you dated for a while before you decided to pop the question. Couldn't you have introduced me to her then?
Forget it! I have no plans to let you meet her. Not now, not ever. It just so happens that I was thinking of breaking off all my ties with you today. Now, in fact.
What?
I can't carry on associating with poor people. I've moved up in the world, you know. The fact that you're mom makes no difference. If your income's low, you gotta go. Not only do I work for a major global company, but my wife's family are crazy rich. Can you imagine how embarrassing it'd be for me if my broke mom showed up to one of their dinner parties?
Carl, please don't be like this. You know why to make the effort to look the part.
Didn't I just make it obvious that that isn't the problem? Can you read? Then figure it out! People like that can smell poor people from a mile off. The fact I was raised by a single mom is bad enough on its own. If they actually saw you, their opinion of me would hit rock bottom in a heartbeat, and my life as I know it would pretty much be over. I have to stop my wife's parents finding out my family is poor at all costs.
Rather than that, didn't they think it was strange that the groom's parents were nowhere to be seen at the wedding? Didn't they ask?
I told them I'm not in contact with you anymore from the beginning. To quote my exact words, it's better to have no mother than a bad one. Besides, think about it, it's easier for all of them if I don't have a family. No one actually enjoys family dinners where everyone has to laugh at each other's crappy jokes and pretend they get along. I bet they felt a weight lifted off their shoulders as soon as I told them.
I see.
Which means this is the last time we'll ever speak. It's time for you to get out of my life. Me, my wife, and her family are all gonna live happily ever after now. I need you to promise you'll never try and contact me again. Leave me to live my life in peace, okay?
I take it that means you can't be happy with me around?
Exactly. You're nothing but a burden. Face it, you're not getting any younger. Before long, you'll be old, infirm, and begging for me to look after you. I don't have the time or patience for that. And Lord knows I wasn't put on this earth to change diapers. It's for the best we go our separate ways. You need to promise you'll never bother me again.
Carl, you have no idea how important you were to me. Maybe you never realized, but it's true. You were the most important thing in the whole world to me.
Stop trying to guilt trip and make me feel sympathy for you, Mom, because it ain't gonna work. Like I said before, if you really love me, prove it by sending me money. If you promise to give me $50,000 to cover what went into the wedding, I'll consider staying in contact with you. I'm pretty sure there's no way you're capable of putting together that much money, though.
$50K is a little much. You're right, I can't.
I knew it. You're just as useless as I thought. I knew I made the right decision in terminating our relationship. This is goodbye, you sad, broke old woman. Never call me your son again.
Understood. If it makes you happy, I'll never contact you again.
Thank God for that. Your only redeeming quality is that you know when to take a hint. I'm grateful for that, at least. But with your personality being as crappy as it is, I doubt you'll ever be happy.
I am happy.
No way, impossible. Despite being such a decrepit old hag, you're almost ready for a nursing home. You don't even own a single piece of branded clothing. You always wear those disgusting, tattered, worn-out old rags you've probably had in your closet since the Stone Age. Unlike me, you don't know the meaning of luxury or extravagance. That doesn't sound like happiness to me.
No amount of fancy, expensive clothes will make you happy.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing your broke-ass loser excuses. You probably used the same one back in the Great Depression, you old hag. You're definitely old enough to have been around back then. Want to know what the real Great Depression is? Your life. Bye. Go crawl into a dark hole where you can't bother me ever again, then die. Hey, Mom, it's been ages. How have you been?
Huh? Who's this?
Carl! No way, did you delete my number? Rude. How could you do that to your own son?
Is there something I can help you with?
Will you be speaking all stiff and formal? Who are you, a freaking hotel receptionist? Anyway, forget that, let's get straight down to business. Why didn't you tell me you got married?
Why would I?
Why would you? Oh, I don't know, maybe because I'm your son? But wow, holy Jesus balls, Mom. How the hell did you manage to bag yourself the CEO of Silicon Valley's hottest new startup? I have to meet him. Think of all the business connections to be made here. Tell him he's going to be meeting his son-in-law real soon.
What on earth are you talking about? Mom? I only have a daughter. I don't have a son.
Huh? A daughter? What the? Wait, this is Nina Chiswick's number, right?
Yes, that's me. Well, it was. My name's Nina Nesbitt now.
Aha, I knew it, so you are my mom. Why would you say something so awful, Mom? That stings. I think about you all the time. I feel awful about how things ended between us.
How things ended between us? You mean how you cut me out of your life and told me never to contact you again?
I never wanted to do that, Mom, but I had to take the opinions of the people around me into consideration. What else was I supposed to do? I was rubbing shoulders with the elite back then. I thought I was finally making my break into the big leagues.
Good for you.
Just let me meet him, Mom. If, by any chance, is your daughter the new husband's kid from an old marriage?
Maybe she is. What of it?
Are you sure you're okay with this, Mom? That kind of baggage isn't something to be taken on lightly, you know.
She's the same age as you.
Mom, please think carefully. Are you sure this is what you want? Baggage like that usually only means trouble. Think about it. Hating your in-laws is practically an American cultural tradition at this point. You'll never be her real mom, you know that, right? Has she said anything mean to you? You've always been mean and incapable of asserting yourself, and I'm worried about you. You get blown around like a feather in wind by the opinions and demands of other people.
Your worries couldn't be further misplaced. Caitlin is lovely and has been very kind to me ever since we met. We cook meals together, go out shopping together, watch movies together, gossip about our favorite celebs together. Anyone who didn't know would mistake us for best buddies. She even took me on a trip to Greece last month. I never felt more loved and appreciated.
She took you abroad? Your daughter-in-law took you on a trip abroad?
Yes, she took me abroad. She's such a darling. I'm lucky to have her.
It must be nice for filthy rich parents. You get to live life on easy mode. You get to do the best school. You get easy pickings on the best jobs. You get to wear the best clothes and eat at the best restaurants, and all without even trying. She must be seriously well off if she can afford to splurge on expensive holidays for a mom-in-law.
Her father's the hardest working man I've ever met. His wife left him when Caitlin was young, just like how your dad walked out on us. To make matters worse, the company he was with at the time went bankrupt the same day. He was forced to go into debt just to keep a roof over his head, but he didn't let the setbacks deter him. He kept fighting and made a success of himself against all odds. Which is why you're wrong. His daughter wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She had to endure more want, hardships, and suffering than any of her peers.
Wow. But even so, surely her rich hotshot dad was the one who actually paid to fly you out to Greece. When you say his daughter took you, you probably mean she just happened to tag along, right? Yeah, of course she did. I bet Daddy's little girl gets whatever she wants without having to lift a finger.
Wrong. Caitlin paid for me to go to Greece with her with nothing but her own hard-earned money.
She did? Whatever. You don't love her more than me, your beloved son, do you? I just know you wouldn't love someone else's kid more than me, your actual son. Of course not. She's probably nothing to you compared to me.
That's not true at all. She's one of the sweetest, kindest, most charming people I've ever met. She saw to it that I got to do all of the things I've always dreamed of doing but couldn't, and I couldn't be happier to have her in my life. I'm filled with pride to be blessed with such an amazing daughter. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Look, Mom, I'm so sorry the way I treated you. But admit it, this is all just an act to make me feel jealous because you're mad about what I did, isn't it? I'm sorry I broke things off with you. It was stupid of me and I regret it. Can we see each other, please? Even just one more time will do.
Why would I want to see you?
Because I'm worried about you.
I'm fine, really. In fact, I've never been doing as well as I am now, so do us all a favor and just forget about me. Anyway, I have nothing more to say to you. Goodbye.
Oh, wait a sec! Mom, please don't go. I need your help. I lost my job. I'm unemployed now.
Ah, yes. Come to think of it, I did hear something along those lines. Your company did a huge restructure, right? I take it you didn't make the grade.
You knew? If you knew, why didn't you do anything to help me? Why didn't you reach out? You have no idea how much I've suffered because of this. I barely recognize my life anymore. My in-laws are constantly on my back about finding a job. They literally never shut up about it. It's like I'm nothing to them now I don't work for a major company anymore. I'm doing my best, really I am, but I can't seem to find any good jobs. What's worse, the in-laws aren't the only ones giving me the cold shoulder. My wife's been grumpy with me ever since. She won't even cook for me or do my laundry anymore.
I know it's not your fault the company decided to do a restructure, but surely you understand this is the path you chose? It has nothing to do with me.
Don't say things like that, Mom. We're family. You gave birth to me for crying out loud. I'm your real son, but you talk about some stranger you've only known 5 minutes like she's more important than me.
You cut me out of your life in the most heartless way possible and told me to never contact you again, Carl.
I did exactly what you asked of me and left you alone.
I only said that in the heat of the moment. I know now what an amazing person you are.
Is that so? To me, it looks like you're only messaging me because you're struggling financially. You seem awfully intrigued by the fact that my new husband happens to be the CEO of a major company, too. At no point have I felt like the reason we're speaking again after all of this time is because you hold any positive feelings for me. Oh, by the way, Anna, your old childhood friend, got in touch with me recently. She holds a senior position at my husband's company. She said you'd been pestering her for all kinds of information about him. What might the reason for that be, Carl?
Gosh, she told you? What the hell is her problem?
She probably thought it was best I know because of how suspicious you were acting. I'm good friends with her mom, you see. So she knew all about how you treated me. Oh, I heard something else, too. It turns out I wasn't the only one you decided you were too good to associate with. I heard you blocked all of your old school friends after calling them a bunch of cringy losers and telling them never to contact you again.
No! Well, okay, maybe I did, but it was just a prank.
Of course you bragged to them about your fancy new life in the city and all the expensive stuff you could afford first. I can't think of a better way to be universally hated than kicking your entire circle of childhood friends out of your life because you think having a good job makes you superior to them all of a sudden.
Ugh, you know what? Fine, I did say that. Want to know why? Because I live in a different world to those small fries. They're dweebs. And they should be grateful to have ever met someone like me.
Ah, and there we have it. I see you haven't changed a bit. There really is no hope for you if you still think like that after all this time. I'm guessing the only reason you're begging for money now is because Anna refused to give you any? You're a disgrace to the human race.
That's no way to talk about your son. Besides, you're the one who raised me. If I'm flawed, you're the only one to blame.
Maybe so. Perhaps I did go wrong somewhere down the line. But in any case, there's nothing I can do about it now. You're beyond all hope of salvation.
Don't say that, Mom. I'm struggling here. I need a helping hand.
I am not your mother. You're the one who ended our relationship. You're the one who said I'm not your mom anymore. You're the one who made us strangers. You!
Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm filled with nothing but regret over how cruel and horrible I was to you. There's no excuse, and I won't try to make any.
I'm glad to hear it. But some things can never be undone.
But the only reason I said those things in the first place was because I thought you'd understand I had no choice due to my situation. I thought you'd find it in your heart to forgive me one day. I realize now that was naive and arrogant of me. I didn't mean what I said.
How many years has it been now? You didn't message me once when it was inconvenient for you, did you? The fact you only come crying to me now when you lose your job tells me everything I need to know. How about you stop pestering me and ask your wife's parents to help you instead? They're the family you chose, after all. I'm sure they'll be tripping over themselves to help you after all the sacrifices you made for them.
I can't exactly say we get along well. They're a pair of haughty tightwads just like my wife.
Oh, I see. Well, that's not my problem.
Please, Mom, I'm begging you here. The 20K is all I'm asking for. Either that or, listen, Mom, I'm going to ask a huge favor of you now. Please, can me and my wife live with you and your husband? He must have tons of spare rooms in his mansion.
You really don't know when to stop, do you? It's actually embarrassing. Cutting all ties with someone means you no longer get the privilege of asking favors. What was it you said to me? Go crawl into a dark hole where you can't bother anyone, then die? It would be one thing to be told that by a child throwing a tantrum, but by your fully grown son? Carrying on as we left off, as if you didn't say any of those hateful things to me, is out of the question.
I may have been an adult back then, but I was still a kid emotionally. Please, can we move past this? Can we forget it like the meaningless, childish nonsense it was? I thought I had license to say whatever I wanted to you because you're my mom. I was naive and foolish enough to believe that you'd always give me another chance.
I don't think you need to tell me this, because you have children of your own now. But parents are humans too. Regardless of whatever situation you were in, you did what you did of your own free will. It's too late now. If you genuinely regretted what you said, you would have reached out and tried to right your wrongs sooner.
I'm so sorry, Mom. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. No amount of apologies could convey how remorseful I am.
I'm the one who should be apologizing. I should be apologizing for not being able to stop you from turning into the vain, arrogant, selfish, money-obsessed monster that you are. I want you to forget about me.
No, listen to me, Mom. I don't want you to apologize. I want you to help me.
Not happening. It's too late now and there's no going back. But if you genuinely regret what you did, then I want you to change. I know that being a stranger, I have no right to tell you that. But I pray you use this as an opportunity to become a better person. Goodbye. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to, which means you don't have to worry about me ever bothering you again. After that, I sent my son $10,000 of my savings. Then, I immediately ended the contract on the only phone that he was capable of contacting me on. I know you probably think I'm a fool for sending him $10,000, but I think of it as a fee for getting him out of my life once and for all. A small price to pay for all the heartache and suffering that he caused me. Hopefully that $10,000 will take him far enough to find a new job, so he can start building a new life for himself without relying on others. I have no intention of giving him another cent of my money, and even if by some miracle he does manage to track me down again, I won't be there to help him. I had intended to forget about my son after he declared he was kicking me out of his life. But it turned out he didn't have the grit or tenacity to follow through with his decision when times got tough. In a way, I'm pleased he came back. I feel like now I finally have closure. I'll probably never speak to my son again. His arrogant, supercilious attitude saw to it that he lost all of his friends. I heard from his childhood friend Anna recently that he's a complete social pariah now. He's not only universally hated in our hometown, but all of his relationships in the city he moved to for work fell apart when people realized what a nasty, toxic person he is deep down. What can I say? Actions have consequences. If you treat people like dirt, you'll be treated like someone who treats people like dirt. Of course, money is important, but it's ultimately just a means to an end. Was there ever a single person who achieved true happiness and fulfillment through riches alone? I'll let you decide. My son may have gotten $10,000, but no amount of money will fill the hollow, empty void inside of his soul. A mother's love is one of the most powerful things in the world, but even that has its limits. You might say Carl never asked me to give birth to him, and you'd be right. But when children grow up and spread their wings, when they fly the nest and make their own way in the big wide world, they have a duty and responsibility to decide for themselves what kind of people they want to be. If he's capable, I pray that he reflects carefully on everything that transpired between us and uses his guilt and regret as motivation to become a better version of himself. But whether he will is another question. Speaking honestly, if he's superficial and shallow enough to start sucking up to me just after he found out I married a CEO, I doubt there's much hope of him changing his ways. I'm just grateful he didn't cause my new family any problems. My new husband is great, and he understands the true value of money because he's experienced real poverty. He says my money-saving dishes are some of the tastiest food he's ever eaten. Not only that, but we both love going out on the best kinds of dates there are. Walks to the park, movie nights on the sofa. Why? Because the best things in life are free. Me and my stepdaughter may not be related by blood, but I love her as if she were my own. And I feel blessed to have such an amazing person in my life. She's a hard worker, just like her dad, and while she's often busy with work, we always make sure to go for days out as a family when we can find the time. Having such a special stepdaughter almost makes up for all of the things I never got to do with my son. I know I'm lucky to be surrounded by such love and warmth, and I vow to never take what I have for granted. I want my life from here on out to be one of gratitude, service, and love for my incredible family. Here's to our future together.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.